Hello?
Back to the topic. Philip has restricted himself to only a descriptive presentation of the processes by which the MPP will go through its selection of party officials and then the flag bearer. I dare say he didn't want to be analytic, else his opinions might be exposed, or probably some things hidden that he doesn't want to put into the public domain. All said and done, the race for the MPP flag bearership for the 2024 elections is hotting up. It's not as hectic as the 2008 one, at which more than 17 candidates were counted, I think. Was it 2007 or 2000? I'm not too sure, but it was for the 2008 elections. The one as Yedun Ketia said 17 thieves are going to contest. Very interesting. So far, names that have appeared are the Vice President, Alhaji Mumunu Bawumia, the Minister for Agric, Afiya Akuto, Alan Shematin, the Minister for Trade and Industry, Joe Gatti, former Minister for Railways. I don't know who else. There is this gentleman who has been contesting from the Ashanti region. I always keep forgetting his name. I think Kwesi Pride knows. Adenimo.
Yeah.
I don't know whether this time he will throw his heart into the ring. Of all these leading candidates, the hurdle that each of them had to overcome is one, money. Because we know within the MPP, elections are money. By now, the delegates are salivating like dogs at the sight of a juicy piece of T-bone steak, because they know their harvest is coming. If, for instance, in parliamentary primaries, a candidate is compelled to spend about 5,000 Ghana cedis per candidate for over 100 people, then you can imagine what will happen when you have a larger delegation to choose a flag bearer. So money is of crucial importance. Then, the candidate who wins the primaries will have to face the Ghanaian electorate. The hurdle they have is the record of Nana Akufo-Addo administration from the period 2016 to 2024. I'll come to that later. For Bawumia in particular, his hurdle is the crisis of credibility. Who wants to vote for a person who has proven himself to be a liar, a flip-flopper, a man who is not disciplined, a man who calls his political opponents all kinds of derogatory names? The word incompetence, which stuck with President John Mahama, was coined by Bawumia. And over the period, he had made sure that on every platform he make innuendos towards the competence or incompetence of former President John Mahama. And he does it with the most annoying guffaw. You know what the word guffaw means? A belly laugh. It's amazing. But this is a man who has managed Akufo-Addo's economic management team since 2017. And is full of ideational contradictions. One day he says, when the fundamentals are wrong, the exchange rate will expose you. The next day he says, when the exchange rate is fluctuating, it does not mean the fundamentals are wrong. Hey, like the hare said to Alice in the Wonderland, say what you mean and mean what you say. But this flip-flopper, self-styled or acclaimed to be an economic waste kid of the MPP, is so inconsistent. I recall not too long ago when the issue of Ghana's national indebtedness came to the forefront of discussion. Dr. Bawumia said, even though we have borrowed in nominal terms more than the NDC, we have managed the debt portfolio better because we have borrowed at lesser rate. Percentages. What has percentages got to do with your debt sustainability calculations? When your debt sustainability is calculated, it's not the percentage at which you borrow that is important. It's the quantum sum of debt incumbent upon you. When you go to service your loans, the rate at which you have to service is not calculated on the basis of the percentages at which you have borrowed, but on the quantum sum. So where does percentages come in? That's why I said he is your ideal flip-flopper. He lacks credibility. On the occasions when I have had cause to refer to Dr. Bawumia and his economic pronouncements, MPP communicators have put a spin on what I've said to say that Toniedu praises Dr. Bawumia's intelligence. The last time I remember, they said, I said Dr. Bawumia was the Achilles heel of the NDC during the 2016 elections. And rightly so, he was. Because people took his words for granted without delving into the analytic furrow to see that all he was doing was the elevation of economic theorems to positions of empirical constructs. The so-called econometric analysis he was making were all theoretical. Come to the real world, you find that they cut no ice, they don't gel. So I said the NDC never took Bawumia on to expose the shallow depth of his econometric knowledge. Consider this.
No.
Philip, you have a point.
Allow me at a point.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You come in.
Yeah. So I think let him.
I know when
point
it's my
come.
turn,
Yeah.
I can do whatever. But I'm asking you to allow me at some point. So you can go ahead.
Okay. Please don't continue.
Now he's put me off stride. Anyway, I said his credentials as an economist only terminates at the point at which he is adept in moving theoretical propositions to the position of empirical constructs. But when the empirical situation is confronted, we find that those theories do not gel at all. There is no relevance. Once Dr. Bawumia gets on the campaign trail, I believe he's going to campaign on the record of Nana Akufo-Addo. Likewise, Alan Martin and others. Let us examine the record of Nana Akufo-Addo over the past 5 years. I state unequivocally that what Ghana has experienced over the past 5 years is a neo-fascist governance of the country, in which the political strategy of the Akufo-Addo regime has been, one, state capture, infiltrate all the important constitutional and state institutions to make sure that they toe the line of the government in power. We have seen that in the extent to which our police service could not perform professionally until very recently, where the CID has been tasked to investigate allegations of corruption and sleaze, and they turn up reports that exonerate the alleged culprit. We are seeing neo-fascism in the form of infiltration of our security forces. And very symptomatic of Hitler's brown shirts we saw at Ayawaso by-election. The invasion of a candidate's house with security personnel clad in the same brown shirts. Same brown shirts. We have seen thuggery as the reason death of Akufo-Addo's security management of the country. People are afraid to talk because you talk, they got their bloodhounds on the social media to come after you. Cases go in court and you find that judgments of the court are so bizarre. All these are evidence of state capture. The economy. How has the Akufo-Addo regime managed the economy? In 5 years, the regime has borrowed well over 200% the sum total of the debt burden left by the Mahama regime. I'm not very comfortable, or I wasn't very comfortable with the borrowings of the Mills Mahama regime, because I felt
akpe namsia Onyankopon onhyira na onye wo kese mimblabo omanye mimblabo omanye djugba Onyankopon onhyira se obetie nokure aka obabo anequality evivivi enyonyonyo ai mawu nyo mawu ede ewo ha eda wase ewo ya hwe tina vote e be padi wati obekire ma igbe no teye o ya de a kowu ko shipo tina vote I see you. Thank you very much. God bless you. Let's keep on going. Let me greet some few beautiful people that are on here today, and then we can continue. All right. Rush Chuke, Makia, Obia, Abusiafo, Mechia, Obia Abusiafo, Ayajoso, Obia Abusiafo, so chiwoso. Aha. Okay. Yanko enim. Arita Okwe, I say hello, Safaro, welcome. Thank you for letting me into your home. Angete, Umajo Bojogban. James Ametepe, watching you from Brooklyn, New York. Ametepe, old soldier, soldier ni penny pa, soldier ni papa, only James Ametepe. Aye, oh yes, soldier ni papa, big. Aye, yefa du kwa kotonche. Usaso ko Bronxa captains who ho so jadi papa aye who structure na obo say yes so jadi papa 64 for omo metwam me mpanfo omo etwetwetwam aye aye eti so jadi for papa de who musuba no wahu omo kasa boko omo di nsem hunu ensem fon ajimisem arengasem omundia arengasem ewo Facebook so soja for papa ai omusem du New Yorker no ma fami no mudi mi chin ai captain de chichinga de huo everade chichinga papa bi no de be rastom saforo tade na pe chicho pebia captain mo Ametepe kai what it was say boy soldier for who soldier did okasa go say yes every so soldier for obonte da yeah cause Lydia Aworeche nakopon shira odo I hope so here Patisco Quinley, how are you doing? I hope you're doing good. Abra Jarvis, I said Dr. Edu, that yes, very intelligent man. Meka mrebi obeto blocks wo me ho ora me ko deliver man and a boys no alpha blocks no anko gu the right place. No munim Dr. Tony Edu. Enti Tony catch up say blocks over 500 600 no. Wo mo say sisa engu ha no. No say masa aden o mo antre asase se gu ai ba say aden. O say also there and of our phone and of frame Saforo o boys no o budi nsem for ha baby o blocks to see no o man fangu ye mo fangu ye e what am say yes sir let me throw mo sa pack blocks no en fangu ha na mo beje tip na pack blocks nyina agu ho na mo beje tip na catch up say hey papa we or a big man and you bibia and can either a vice presidential candidate or a candidate Bema no ne brofo. Dr. Tony Edu. Who can say yen kola ho. at a mills kwa fry pay at a mills unwa minka chiro just say dry num ya kind of plain me ka chiro ya nanti mu pen na ye bre ho ase ai Pauline Bridget appear usha ho konkonsa nima ai ohoye ojogba Aisha Ahmed Randa Akwele Elom take Elom say Asafo like your ewe I beg go very soon every day I will take an ewe class. I will start speaking ewe because I love ewe people. If you're talking about loyalty, ewe people, nothingness, loyal people in this our country, you can't miss it. Yes. Ukwa igbenifi no ye akpele na dress homa wa ompe wasem. Ukwa igbeni bi fie no ye akpele no ote no the botches ne to na demu say na yensiesie hu a ene che so po wasem odin ko denti because say you odin no sa no be di no sa no de be ma wo ran na fishing kitikiti any meko any efense jene nya bubogu so say he to be intake I before obi sweet rough Renda Akole. All right, Elom take. I said like my English. Rosa Aja, Eunice Davis. See his hi Saforo. Good evening. My sister's name is Eunice. Eunice Saforo. Essen Kwesi champion. I salute. Abra Jarvis. I hope you are doing very good. All right, that is Facebook for you. Me pacho mun share na mun like it. Na yanko yanim. O like na yanko yanim. And then me what tips I be ma ene. Me what tips I be ma ene. Me first aid back which is safety tip. Na mama defensive tip. Also back me chawa de bi. Se wutie me a I bet you will like what I am. Me nkasa bebre. But then my safety tip. Me wia my defensive tip. Yakupo on shira. No yakase. Naomi Bading. O baba Yakupo on shira. I on yakase no peja. Gifty entry. O say good evening Saforo. Gifty entry. Yakupo on shira. Entry back up pe. Entry back up pe. Na opoku. Ashanti's not lawyer. Oh, Pacho, oh, make a pass over my me. Ashanti for binimu a lawyer. Except those who love me. Except those who love me. Oh my goodness, that's a good question. You can't agree what it. You call your name. But your share video no nyan kasa nyan ko na abrabosa na tie na lamle odate lamte good evening bon good evening ni wa jobo ene min blabo o manye o ni wa jobo ne wo no ne ka ba ya nwe ne ka ba ya hie tromo Juliana Siedu o see watching na ko bon shira aha all right. Let's go. My name is very simple. Machine gun preacher. Bakope. Obieni babia. Obieni ho kra me dini bi. One. Adekutia me frame me ho sa no is because me ma me wo me no. Oto me kwame safro. Ono me papa. Eno mo ya adwen. Kwame ne kura. Enye ma me ne papa da to me o. It's because me pese me ba memreda. Ena mba memreda. Esa say meme na mema. Yehwe ya yiri mu yie, yehwe ya ma mu yie, yehwe ya mpra mu yie, yehwe wo mo ya do mu no, yehwe mu yie. Nti ye de ye nya basa. Nti memre na de Onyankopon na ne me ehye ho na me ba memre nda. Aha, enye by mistake. Ai, na me choose bi maame, na me choose bi papa, na me share bi maame, na papa so. Ai, uni bibi, me kan secret passage chiro. Obi ani wa oba wiase a when choose a fear crow obem. Until I make changes to my family, what I say works. because God put me in that family for a purpose and a reason. One bag busani kwa, ube busani for a reason. Inti me kwa mesafro, me chusu mini eni me se, ena me besuya wanso. Sabi, eni sabi kacho se, minya adisuya pa, mi ko school pa, yatiti mi ye, inti no, eno die di naso bako pa, nankopon ore cheme. Wonso ebusia be na opie firi mu, ebusia kora opie firi mu no, wo chusu ye, ena oba ye. Inti anything going on in the family, you can make a change. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Spiritual sensitization. Na medama uno sisiano fa na fe diagro ebeboam. All right. Now opoku Ashantis are loyal, but sometimes they can be stupidly loyal. Some can't be honest in face of injustice. Thank you. Na opoku nakopo unshira umpejao. Me asantini me papa efi Brekusu, which is a Bri area, or your Kriapimni, papa, or your Kriapino. Woman, me say, me paucho say, we are a boya. I me cromuno, or I'm fee. And a mammy, efi asanti jabbing, which is, friend is saying, otosribo, jabbing, bakope, or a mammy fee. I, intino, me ye half and half. Yes, inti, this is what it is. Now me show no on page out on your kesiye. All right, so gifty entry. I say Kwame, not all of them Saforo. Some of them are good. All right, it's okay. Now Poku say, hey Kwame for mo pe a ma rough. Na ma oh sister, am I at the pa? Oba wo nchen a na ehuhuro dew. Onim nchen so a na wo dew. Enti oba de wo mpa oba wo problem. Oba ye de finish through ebesi ni form. Osin ahwede ewrade. Jai upemba anye wrong. Kwa before ye krokro ma so. Eh good. Men how. Na me pa de me to be ko pepep no ko man ye because ye fun oba bia make papa bia papa bre ko pa de me to be pede da oba fun say krasi di ba on poe anyway o my yankoso I ya koso I me pacho me safety tip me di bro me safety tip me di bro number 1 me chirawo a first aid box in your house, in your car, is very, very important. Minya, Mesrew, have a first aid kit around you everywhere that you are. It's very important. Hey, tipae edro, safety ayimu, safety box mu. That's a first aid. Gauze, temperature ayi check wom, ayi wom, plasters wom. Iodine, black blue one. Your friend is a brave finity. Oh, erade iodine de mini baba kono blue. Your friend is a bachabon kaime. What's the first year? Why they be blue be? Utumi gu enum na ahohuru wenum na ku wenum kro no. Obacho bi kaimia obi nkaime. Ai na me nkamre finidin. Ene sa nyema wenyi na ai ewo wayi mu. Ewo wayi ni mu. It's now critical. Unya accident waka mu a. That's the first thing you know. Blood chow, upra, bibia yawa. First thing you go to your first aid boss. Wa ukro do so. Na wa de ayi iodine, eguso. Now the plaster, a fasten the gauze. And now they call hospital. Ebeboa. I first aid kit don't crash and say Eshakona the bia it is good for you. Into Bisro, into Bacho, put first aid kit in your house, big one, and depending on your size of family. I make sure say enough gauze because gauze so be brave and bandages because you need be akola bi pra moja de doso penny pra moja doso. I now when you Vaseline but when you say Vaseline, ubenya Vaseline 9 size acha face kit mu se na be ya obehihye a obetumi di aboa no Gentian Violet. Oh, na opoku, my loyal sweetheart. Let me show. Junction Violet, gifty entry or no so aka Junction Violet. Aha, obisu na boku so mouthwash. Aha, Junction Violet. Na lam lil odate lamte or no so ya dear or no she. Hey, Anna Sylvia Makadi SOC GV. Aha, ti my friend say Junction Violet bia. Ai iti yenya yekoso ai Pauline Bridget appear. Also, you look very happy today. Yes, you know why? You know why? People called me to tell me I should not disturb my life. Unu so be catch them say ene. Obi fan catch them say. Me fans say, dear Mefi oba Jimmy Fono. Enka police che me kura. Ana so ni che me bu me kura. Eye. Asem kese pa o. Ose mami finu onye nipa oya brunsam agent. Mami finu onye nipa papa bia wo wiase. Na bra boy frustrated. Oni kunu amanfo krum na ojeje. Ti mami finu. Yes. Eti Junction Violet. I na wo first aid kit ni mu fe na bibetu wa. Aha. What me yi now they aboa wo ho. Because me fear sometimes bibia to obia ni abaji aid because I had all those things around me. I said we onya bi wo kitchen, also onya bi wo hall, o baby wo dem, sina be ya, wo hinya problem bia, wo betumi akofa na wodi aboa enipa. Ni wonya painkillers and so na that too. But painkiller no make sure say de bia be fa bia no, obefa na wahwe expiry date no ansana wanum ai epacho na me onhira no ompagya na onya wokese ai first aid kit ade bia obia hia e wo fie. Everybody needs a first aid kit in your house. Entipacho uni bia mesraw pebitu fie ai ebu pebitu fie na makapeta de bi nye box ma kama na to nyama gum gos sa nyama nyina to bi gum na ude untumi nto a petu na yare na kɔ Abysmal hospital na ka kyerɛ mo sɛ o ho mfa okɔ a osimpewe no be yamana la begu o first aid box no wawie wona wo kɔ no bro na lamle odate lamte osi bro do not give her your time. Sylvia Makari Saforo, she forgot her psychiatric medication today. That's why she's acting like that. Gifty entry Saforo will support you 24/7. Abba na mimpewe na me pedeng aw na me shramu yempe hypocrisy biawa ye hypocrite and I'm say ye kanokore I Kevin Taylor chi and I'm di until you should know who I am. Kevin Taylor and then me bo di you me say Kevin Taylor nie Last Silence TV nie Samsung nie Last Silence TV nie iPhone nie Kevin Taylor nie e wo fie bie upo e wo fie bie eya wo ya de ni fie mu kura no e wo kwan ho na manfo gu hu no mo hwe. Number 1, Loud Silence TV, the only TV that shakes the nation. One man that shakes the nation. Loud Silence TV. Back up pay. Kevin, what be any penny? I mean shroud, no pejao. I mean pejao, no shroud. SNM ajaku or say iodine and alcohol and also moi and also yeah. I see we got you, bro. Thank you, SNM Aja. I love you. Na opoku. Ha. Abysmal hospital. Let me see more. Abysmal hospital. Also, chia. You will pay for all that. You might as well go to the shop and buy your stuff. I love you guys. You make me proud. All right, so guys, this is the I've given you the safety already, so I'm going to give you the, how do you call it, I'm I'm going to where's my phone? I'm going to give you the defensive. I'll give you the defensive safety. All right, defensive safety. I'm in trouble, DB. All right, minianimo, mema, enimba, sadie way, die betumi aye no, sa card way, die betumi aye no, safety, way you can defend yourself with this. Minianimo, me say you can defend yourself with this. Way, masa, technique way, yanchiro bia keke. Yanchirobia, but an amateur way a survivor skill and a amateur no. Miniam, Sadia will cray, or ATM card or wha, and a credit card, ever wha. I dare amateur wing. Min can be a mission fee, Nini conform me, but mature. Find one of this. The bia uyusu. Okay, je wotade ko ATM no, je wotade ko ATM no. Usika gusa wota use no. Mesrew fa baako ase no. Na sia no very very sharp. Enya baby a weni wono. The opposite side no. Wo be sia no with the blade and as a bibia. No wa sia no na very sharp. Very 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 sharp. Minia obi attack you in a place you don't have any protection, knife, whatever. Minia, sadie way, you can slit anybody's corn. Ubetimili acha a punching eti. Ubetimili acha a kokoti. Way. Internet, or ATM, or a credit card. Me pacho, see one side, sitting very carefully. Nine sharp, very 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 sharp. Osekano no. Na ukraswa. Konfobia obi attack you ATM bia na dwene mbaso utwi card free ATM ni mu a na jodi baby if I talk say slot or quarterman my gun or my mouth no be gun. All right, protection and a material no nakopon on shroud safety tip and a material no baby the funche nakopon shroud ai akwa ba and na babu enok nakopon shroud. I see those incubator kids who survives misbehaves. She is one of them. Aha, James Abetepe. Those incubator. Aha, and what catch on brofo. Papa Soja. I mean, shroud. Ebinimo. And then I'm so me a soldier for. I'm me a soldier for. Aye, James Abetepe. Mobo. Jai. Now James Abetepe. Who can say that Michiano? My first question be bizarre. But your unim, Mishia no. Unim first question, Mibisa no. Mibisa will say, Uye soja ni ana. DNT and a mekasa. Ha. Deja mekasa. Because me show body, me show structure, me show groomings. Na me show out here. Na me say, Uye old soja na. And pass so. Uye old soja. Enti, get my soja for. Na me show. No pejao. Oh, sure, Sylvia said, Sylvia Macari, or see, Safaro, I went out because, I went out because Kevin's program. I left my watch at the market. Ade. Oh my God. You left your watch in the market. And you walk forward there, yeah. Okay, me bacho, mama yankoso, na yenye ejuma. Kevin Taylor, Yamin Shrao. Loud Silence TV is number 1. It's in 22 to 23 African countries. Nipa Eshayen, Sesia, the biggest platform in Ghana and in West Africa. Baby Anokure power unadulterated. Okay? Unadulterated. I am 5 in frame okure enono. Kevin Taylor so you the CEO. Honestly, I'm a boss. And I'm here proud of Kevin Taylor. Very proud of him. Ono chiameka ashiwa kona kuvu. Hey, win him. Monica Coffee. my two message, you know. Nakupon on shram. On the ground, my who message, you know. I me follow pa. U phone the other ha. O sudden messenger. Me man you say me hu pa. But me the funche says Safaro. Forget that Akafu Bodamfo and her pet. Okay. Aisha Tusalifu. I'll say, how are you doing, brother? My sister, I'm doing well. Nakupon sharp. All right. So, mama mo tip on every, you know, may call amamo a break. But your Moshe Adewi and for mame.
Now watch this. What will make a journalist stand on TV and make these kinds of analysis?
People them and we get excited. You got excited by number 12. Everyone got excited. The result of it is that your football is where it is today, where the Black Stars go to the African Cup of Nations and they are beaten by Comoros Island. They've been defeated by Comoros. 3 goals. Ghana has conceded 3 goals against Comoros Island. And lost to Morocco is okay. We beat Morocco. Morocco beat us. We beat them. They beat us. We beat Egypt. They beat us. That's okay. A draw with Gabon is not that great. But that's still okay. It happens. Upsets happens in tournaments. One here and there. But to go into a game against Comoros and concede 3 goals, that's the lowest that you can get to. And it gets to that point because when number 12 came, we didn't handle it well. The evidence of number 12, the facts out of number 12 could have been handled. People were writing letters to FIFA. Sack Kwesi Nyantakyi, sack him, sack him, sack him. When a man has identified a role and decided on his own to build himself into that role, and along the line he has mentors who help him, and the mentors bring him up, he gets into the role, he doesn't finish there as Ghana Football Association president, he goes out into the world. Now to take the flag of Ghana and show that Ghana should be recognized by international football associations. All the FIFA executives could call him by first name even before he went there to be a member of the 24. He was in pole position to become the next CAF president. Everybody knew that. Everybody in CAF knew that once Hayatu is done, the thing will go to Ghana. Kwesi Nyantakyi will get it. By now, Kwesi Nyantakyi would have been the president of the Confederation of African Football. The level of respect that Ghana gets would have been out of the roof. But today we are crying that we have been defeated by Comoros. Because, as the Bible said, do not be deceived. Whatever a man soweth, that is what he will reap. What we have sowed in bringing somebody just getting excited, that somebody who has built something has had an issue in some number 12 documentary, and we are just excited, yachino, and we are happy and running around, and we are excited about the story. That excitement.
This is a journalist. This Christmas tree thief. So his basis was that if even Nyantakyi is a thief, because he has been at the FA and through his criminal activities, we were supposed to ignore the documentary, discredit the documentary, and allow Nyantakyi to be the FA boss. This is Paul Ademotre, the host and CEO of Metro TV. This guy calls himself a journalist. This Christmas tree thief. You see how difficult it is, but I want to show you something. The Nyantakyi he's trying to defend and build for us to look like, for him to look like God to us. This is the Nyantakyi. This is the person, a journalist is sitting on national television defending, calling everybody a fool because Anas Arimia Anas, through number 12, Ahmed Swale was shot. Paul Ademotre is a journalist like Ahmed Swale. Ahmed Swale investigated the FA. Ahmed Swale was shot for bringing out crime. After the investigation, FIFA, CAF, they have actually penalized or disciplined Nyantakyi. At the end of the day, a fellow journalist died. This is Nyantakyi.
As a politician.
We'll start with the Minister of Roads and his deputy. I think that we can find some money for them. When we go, you and I, just the three of us, we meet them one-one, and we give them money to him personally. And I think that you can start with something small, your own discretion. Then, when you get the contracts, big contracts, we can go back and give them more money. Then we take over the whole country. Yes. That's how we should do it. Yes.
The president was then seen gathering the money into a gift bag. The president then went over the bribery plan, this time critically sneaking in an extra $1 million as his and Abu's share, making $12 million in total.
I will give you good advice. He is my small brother. Yeah. If we are able to give money to the president of the country, the vice president, and the minister, we are finished. I'm telling you, we are finished. This is 5 plus 3, 8 plus 2, 10 plus 1, 11. Maybe you add another 1 million for us. 12 million. 12 million. Okay. Can we agree when we can get this visit to Ghana to do that so that we can start quickly?
Perhaps blown away.
This is what Paul was defending. This is the Nyantechi Paul Adumocho was telling us we are fools to have sacked from the FA.
All right, Mirianamo, this is my main topic of the day. I just wanted to give you a brief of what is going on. Here is another video for you as well.
The president of the Football Association says if you know a Ronaldo or Messi somewhere, let him know you add him to the squad. What response they're saying?
More fire. The Colombian Ronaldo and Messi. For the best of players, a couple a tournament Magana. What's up by Sabi Didi at him? We professional Jimmy, some Jimmy for a professional mechanical atio. The Colombian or Messi, any Ronaldo. What does it? What by Sabi Didi at him? A Nancy be enemy. Oh, a Gofabu as a big meal. Nyansan, that's a woman be. Ufubi wa. What I say? Jimmy and Nyansan, I say, as an young woman. Yeah, they behave like as if say common sense, no. I am common. Woman, maybe I say, you be me ho. So let me just come. Now me made a me make can quasi as we grow beyond a woman in Ronaldo. We was out. You grow beyond a woman, and in any case, man's new Ronaldo one RGB will be as yana. I'm on grow.
Zambia, the Messi never win.
So what can you say to me? I'm sure response and say, why Jimmy Power me answer. Wouldn't you far go for home, but me a bobo. What you is a wine and an empty year, and they want him business, ni agents in no for Kankaya, modern blasters in here. Why name me a modern blasters? When we your best place? Then I say, who near you so idea when you saw more, when you saw more, who near my dear cheap. We are cheap. We are cheap and Casa say, who to me catch me say this is the best place. Player Papa Bianiwo, our Ghana, Yancho, Messi or Ronaldo, our Ghana, Wama Afcon, we be a Nese, when you saw more, we are cheap. Only my dear fair, we are cheap and Casa say, I just say, a bimuanya, a brutine, and no baby cocoa, just like that. A bimunya opportunity is still on the quaba, so still, and it be any new. What's here something more than professional? Fire pen them all. Nimguase for Aquaba, and Nimguase for Matrama.
The president of the Football Association says if you know a Ronaldo or Messi somewhere, let him know you add him to the squad. What response they're saying?
More fire. The Colombian Ronaldo and Messi. For the best of players, a couple a tournament Magana. What's up by Sabi Didi at him? We professional Jimmy, some Jimmy for a professional mechanical atio. The Colombian or Messi, any Ronaldo. What does it? What by Sabi Didi at him? A Nancy be enemy. Oh, a Gofabu as a big meal. Nyansan, that's a woman be. Ufubi wa. What I say? Jimmy and Nyansan, I say, as an young woman. Yeah, they behave like as if say common sense, no. I am common. Woman, maybe I say, you be me ho. So let me just come. Now me made a me make can quasi as we grow beyond a woman in Ronaldo. We was out. You grow beyond a woman, and in any case, man's new Ronaldo one RGB will be as yana. I'm on grow.
Zambia the Messi na wini.
So what can you say to me? I'm sure response in why Jimmy Power when me has. Wouldn't him far go for home but me a bobo. What the movie one and an inti here and they want him business ni agents in no man for kaya modern blasters in here. Why any money are modern blasters? Where your best place? Then I so who near you so idea when you saw more when you saw more unima DF cheap. We cheap. We cheap and kasa say ultimate catch me say this is the best place. Player Papa Bianiwo, our Ghana, Yancho, Messi or Ronaldo, our Ghana, Wama Afro Webia. Nese, when you saw more, we cheap, unima DF, we cheap and kasa say. I just say, Ebimuanya, a Britain, and no baby cocoa, just like that. Ebimunya opportunity is still on the Quaba, so still, and it be any new. What's here something more and professional? Fire pen them all.
Inti sikana ni ese te so no we.
Ande nyam na mka say te sika so.
Se wo kan.
Ba jo am dem muti musam question. Se do me na mka ye de a, bo musam.
For man kan say sika so na so komo de.
Ba me de nyam na mka ye, nti ni ba no ka na zo musam.
President Akufo-Addo ne kan.
Ah ne bunzo ba studio na musam no nya de me.
Otwe ho free ho.
Me twe me ho free ho, but what I'm saying is say nipa no kan no no one reason to kan e do me dem engineer
but as a collective but when you just an engineer, a politician.
Yes, that's right.
And you belong to a party
but
and leader.
Politician be aka na say
you belong to a party
original so politician no original so kan e into politician no kan
no original so to me and
ono de oba no buza na me de do mean to be.
I see.
Let me check the entire Casio. Of course, Ghana they say it is Casio. Of course, and the way you manage it.
So that's the issue.
The way you manage it.
You're managing a Sikasem to that extent. I mean, obviously, I should say you're managing a Sikasem. Internet, to raise money to even pay contractors. You have to take individual contractors, although more at the map, baby, you free and answer or minor, and but we were promised an efficient management of the economy.
Well, that one me economists. Intimate different because me ubuza me Obi our economists in back as a managing efficiently. Me do me economists intimate
defend what buying in terms of economic management.
I can't do it because me economists intimate me can answer. Me as me economists in America. So engineering even on the buy I can easily say it, but economists no finance no one they do me because school mania konza until no me dem entiase.
But Obika said the evidence shows that the MPP and Timia managing Ghana economy here. On any by
on what basis? Na me de kwa challenge ni pakro. I was saying to me nya basis bi na me economic mind ni me.
Hey, honorable. Na me engineer na kwa we politician economic.
There is some element of economic. Civil engineer on your budget for your projects.
We are civil engineer. Me dey answer my cost estimate. I mean akoma no na omo budget no. E for na ka say okay benye sika say na dey.
Na honorable obi kura misawa wan so no hu say dey ekona hu ne say ekoyi. I said the woman say o me mu obi emisa bi ka say obi be bisawa wa so no so hu ne say so obi emisawa wa
say ekoyi say oboto mo anaza o dey.
Ai o man ni mu nyina wood na man koma nkrofo di ne nsam nkrofo.
Ensem a mo ka to yetirimu efa o man ni sika sem se ne mo be manage no mo the best.
Honestly me dey na ka yo say me nya economics ntimi ho no me na me ntimi kan wanza.
Honorable
but you so wo ka aho kire wo kuro mu dia and any papika miete
ayo man ni mu no
omo come yet say ba wo bi wu so etsa
omo ka aho kire dia ho and me feel say o ba me feel all the time ni papi go ha omo pemwa
nti sika na na ese ete so no we
and then you can say ete sika so
say wo camp
ba jo am dem mutim so.
Okay. Yankoso. But I say abotre bacho adofo no bi abaka ho enti mama membo mo de na membo mo baso Monica Kofi ewo ha Linda Ofosu aba Linda Ofosu de oba bebre Kwebu Enoch ewo ha Elom take say ewo lessons Elom take ebe ewo lessons say I take say menka. I greet you all my viewers. And so I say medogbe nanye nukbolawo kata. Aha. Enti take me pacho fa text me na de bia menka nenkama no. Medogbe na nye nukbolawo kata. Aigbe baba. All right. Ayeka sikano ashe. All right. All right. So we go to our how do you call it newspaper review. It was very short. It's very short. So that I go to basically my main topic. Is what I'm going to go on. Very like 2 minutes. This about 5 minutes of this one. Booster shots for Ghanaians. Okay. Booster shots from where? Sputnik or from Moderna, Pfizer or what? I won't know. Okay, because Dr. Fone said, "Edroa omwo Ghana Sputnik no amafo bebre ewu. E-levy is important to our lives. To win any will say, unfini kakraka sa acrobat shoe. What? Nonsense. Kasi Jimmy. We second how better say E-levy is good for us. Good for who will say. Many time found mouth. Ghana force you or mumpe. And I will be so push ya. Messi will say, unfini kakraka. Would you loan? Na ye here. Na wunim. Would you loan? Sina baya bank bengesikano. Urefi. Eh? About them. A crow for mafias from Achimland. Ayoko Botwe Guterres discusses crisis in Sahel region. All right. All right. Let's keep on going. I won't even bother myself too much. I want to finish this quick. Yeah, by 6:30, I was able to me. Let me be phone lines. All right. So, Techiman to Abodom road accident kills 7. Because to say there are no rules and regulations on the road. Ghana's economy in rapid rebound. Oh, Papa, way. I was so be bonasum na itite because it doesn't make sense. Eh? It doesn't make sense. Eh? Now, if the government economy is in a rapid rebound, then you are saying that you are admitting indirectly that the government economy was in shambles, like other people are saying. Because if it was not in shambles, Nanka, Sabi, Kaji economy, Egbekoshi, Ne Fiteko, Ne Shako, Nkwe, Obadumosho, Obakewake, a rebound back. Because things that rebound back was either dead. It's not economy, no. Tutum say economy, no. Nanime guase under you and Bawomia, Ekufaro there, a remote control access point. Don't know there. Battery no ada. Onimshe. He doesn't know what's going on. Yan Tramana, Otubinka, Adreno, Ashe. Eti nukraka ebwa. Eti ka yeka say adiano Ashe no. And I beka say ampa Ashe de. Eso enhye sa. Krabeti wase. Na fo beka say Ghana economy is in a rapid rebounder. You are even telling us there it's in a rapid rebound. After a rapid, and now rebounding here. Oh, but damn. So also so cause better no. I tell you what you want to say. I tell you, can Japan adreno GJA warns journalists over Asantehini's Domahini conflict. Who wants hey? Now why Nebeka? Asante hene juma odino eye eti bomonka Many pan can watch them. It's stupidity going on. People must say it. And they are journalists. Now where are Becca was them? I go for the Jimmy or can mu GJ mu to meka he. Journalists wa wabaka manum ena mukaka atumuno. Where are them? Where are them? Say ya. I can't buy GJ wants journalists to speak their mind and not be gagged over economy and governance. Wait, let me say, this should have been your topic. Jimmy Adoso. Jimmy Adoso. Oh, ASFM. Achi mafia si. Say yaw. The moon. I shit to say, you know. Tell them Jimmy. Yeah, break. Tina Vautier, my sweetheart, how you be? Uneasy, calm at Nima Mamobi. 9 arrested. Chief Imam urges restraint. 9 arrested. And until they be a cancer, be say, Munim gangsters, any gang bangers, Wamuwo, Kromuho, Ghana ho. Instead of you to conscientize them, you won't conscientize them. Muamu you saw me didn't kwasiasem. What I say, mu you saw mu e didn't kwasiasem. Eto mu ya dia mutuminka. Okay. Court grants all Wakpo lands to Akwe family. All right. So government moves to reclaim degraded mining lands as Forestry Commission goes digital. Political divisions destroying Ghana's constitutional democracy. Alex Daddy, it has been that point, and it's not particularly about political division. No, because we are wrong. Look, party BR with the rules and regulation. NDC were there, MPP were there. They have their understanding of what they want to do as a government. But the constitution of Ghana is not being followed. It's not being pursued. We don't have even judges to come out and to explain the constitution to the government in power. The justices omoni ayi impayifo government especially for the party eda etino the no kure they don't say it. It because a political division destroying. It's not political division. We know we have our understanding, our biases, but the constitution is one and it stands on its own. Obi to me catch him say nipa na otu obu constitution na on for the party and metina ho. Say police not one obu constitution na on for the Jimmy any ataria party ataria or show what a uniform aseno embe acte. Say judge to one o nyasa and a wakumapa and onim say or justice or say or interpreting law no na the jumana no man no kwemu devoid of party kalesa or show what the asia eka yemre. We don't respect the constitution. We have our mindset. We bend the constitution. We bend the law to have our own way. And we say we are in power. The judiciary don't care. Parliament don't care. Police don't care. Army don't care. Nobody cares. And things go on. Near beside will say, the minio na yano. And the SRN na yano. She am a power. Can my head court a court. Oh, really? Because we know the justices, the court elders, and the judges are timorous. That's the language that was used. This is not a matter of political division. It's the mind of the people. The leaders corrupt, sick-minded thoughts, trolls. That's all they do. Oba bed constitution kodi eya ehabo. Olake no fear ehi. President etusika etu akorenti plane e de tu kwan 40 to 50,000 euros every hour. Ye frere Minister of Finance or say yes monka. Ye frere National Security Minister. Ye say mamenka security issue menka. Ye frere Defense Minister or no say onka a security issue. Kwasia wufa plano etu akwa ye show wo kona wo baro sikana or spend it a security issue but kona oko bani plano using there a security issue oh uhinim mutintin seni magota. And then you say political divisions. The mind of the people is bad, is bent, is corrupt, as shit, a shot. You see? So, this I won't even spend time. One, why should an information minister, Osla Wusu, I stand corrected. Why should Osla Owusu, an information minister, debut? Osla Wusu yede, but you kaime. Or yede communication, communication, information. I think so. At me show. Why should Osla Wusu go and hire a foreigner to come and take data of a country, get paid when we have an institution in the country that can do that free of charge, that we are paying them to do that work? Maybe so. I didn't think there was a minister to be bought on my casa. I did because on book constitution, on slow constitution, where Jimmy, because on himself or power, obey use power no, to do what they want to do. And that is the reason why I'm praying that Mama Beba so that a Mama I must have Bawe Uncle Demwa Mama Menewo Jack me Maunda. And I mean say also dam to say Kufado Kukuni party chairman for Udia. You are way better of a president. It would yet make up what's up now. Mimbo break a cry. You must arrest these people because they have done so many evil things without consulting the constitution. The NIA boss is there doing the same job. Identity and a minister, any dream fee, any dream bonny, any career, any cream, any dream, any project, any kind, any go me, and I shall dream, any more government and the man, and come back of fact, Kenya ni, and their bagana, no man the contract, none in a catty deal, what you will share, and that is it. Because on your data no. Edia the party adwuma ewo NIA listen to me nka de ohia no. And a deity, are there not Ghanaians in Ghana that can do this? They can, But you know what? Opese data no be fano. Data no be fano. Opese o de boa on one kasa no ho of how many people have the Ghana card that have SIMs, so they can contact those people. Mobile money. Montu buy ni send it. Montu money ni send it. I ni krono etino wa cancel NIA eduma wa ye and I for obi abonten DNT because okodu kroma okọ utumi ko friend ma utumi ko ene hwe okodu krom but obi o Ghana dia ye betwa sapina no ni ebisa the questions asemeba etino okofo obi a ofi krofufo so, and that is the reason. Anyway, of the constitution, it is a political division. It is not a political division. It's the mind of this government. Mahama will not do this. NIA set record straight on SIM registration. Atefua, na mishra, koso, na boy juma, na kasaba government no, eni here. So ni penim e kan okre eno I don't know bam ye ko enim. Communication minister me da say Black Stars abysmal performance caused by Anas number 12 Paul Adumochiri. Hwe padi my way me kan asem mesrew me be kan asem in my editorial. I come and speak about him in my editorial. Until wait there, me ha me ho na makasa bebre on this stupid guy. No, I'm wasting my time. Why Bagbin wants armed soldiers? Why Bagbin wants armed soldiers? Because they are well trained. I've told you, 10 policemen is equal to 2 soldiers. Mekai emrebi in Sawam, in Sawam, in Sawam, a friend is saying. Border ho be o ma ye we ni wono on sabom ana yesi soja ni bi ekototo pens ni books a de ye de koton enti odu sabom barrier ho no ana police for no gira no no section no o si we o de kwen o say books me ye ton ti no me de kogu me de store mu masa meska no pare ka say oh so omun so soja ni o si oh Maeska na jado chechewa ko wi ma we na be de hu maeska o so onyisika o onisika o si maeska ne ka unko o mu waste papa we time force papa we ya jojo papa no se papa yi so je ni panyi ena so je yi o mu ji sika jojo no tuka eno fa phone eno frɛ Soja for I don't what time car within 30 minutes. No if remember camp or do is a one barrier. Or do what? Remember do what must see from pair. Na commander no or what body dear beachy. Also shall black. What I say? Area kete the rank at it all. I see, hey, get up. Na a man bisu wabu omatonram. Ya chesi obu nya bai. Behwe police panyi pao. Na soja for crab belt. No mu guado. Na commander yaso tia Jimmy na wu Jimmy. Ya press ups. Na commander muwa panyi muwa say no other form. No, you press up. Oh, yeah, press up. I said, yeah, no, yeah, press up. One go soldier, another go soldier, another go soldier. I say, I, another go soldier. I say, I, another go soldier. I say, I, go soldier. I, we are Jimmy. I say, I, Jajimiano. I say, yo, Jajimiano. I say, yo. Obi papa, what the commander, na soldier ni recruit. I bet you, I know say, eti. Me say hey easy o eburu pa e mare de e twa de to do atiem o say man no o be say for mo omoto akesa kese no ne ring yi ehye so be 7 obire na ne yafu abia the police atade edi bu say ya buru to ma ya hware to ma obire na ni so wayi ni che eso de basa ya ni tu wa basa say ay ya ko edi bu entigbami pesojafo a oh you right because 10 police officers is equal to 3 army men. 3 they will do the trick. COVID vaccine for pregnant women. Hey! Dabio yempe e-levy sensitization begins. Oforiata mabomudam yempe kona kore wo ho be chiru sense wo oforiata wo so wabogana kro no ye be budua wo kasi ejimi netia. Okay, so government cut expenditure by 20% in first quarter. O cut expenditure unkati hu unkati hwe entro the krono ena emude o cut e de na cut ndabe unkati every tax of house a cromfo asefo. All right, so Ghana card only valid ID. Ow! I mean, Shram. Ghana card only valid ID. I mean, Shram. You have a baby. You have a baby. Why? Say, Bagum, say, Ukra no, unhia visa. Uko American embassy near Mau, Yamawa, visa. Now, Ukwa, no. Okay. MPP presidential race, choose Alan Chirematin to win 2024 election. MPP advised. BOG gives green light for banks. Okay. Food shortages imminent in Kwau, Afram Plains. Farmers express fear. Munka manum sam ya kasa semwe 2 years ago na mudia banchia enkemboy 2 years ago ene ya kasa semwe se aduane buffer stock no modi ni nyina mo misuse ni nyina ene kasa semwe mo ante buffer stock wo ho a ye de boa market no ne semfa ma school kola na makoyi na makoton na mo fese gbaji mo bi bra ene ye keka no de ne bi ni planting for food and jobs nyina anye ye also be the president. Because Akufo-Addo created the president. Into no yede. So no Akufo-Addo to be the president. Then don't to be the president. Then the Akufo-Addo to then oye. Domestic market only has short-term capacity. Analyst. No Ghana card, no banking, financial services. Good. Government embarks 640 million Ghana cedis for PFJ in 2022. Government to receive over 2.5 billion Ghana cedis of ABFA for 2022. All right, good. Okay, that comes to the end of the, how do you call it, newspaper segment. A break for you. A documentary that is yet to be aired into the affairs of the Ghana Football Association.
President of the Republic has had the benefit of viewing aspects of this investigative piece. And in this documentary, the President of the Ghana Football Association, Mr. Kosini Adichie, is supposedly saying, attempting to use the President's name and that of the Vice President and other senior officials of government to induce supposed potential investors into our country to part with various the press, as we are all aware, Tiger Eye, through a celebrated journalist, Mr. Anas Premier.
Statement was thrown out. Not less than half a dozen NDC MPs have been arraigned before all manner of investigative committees, some of whom have been charged on very, very frivolous premise.
Members of Parliament.
Members of Parliament. Indeed, only
up to 12.
Half a dozen, about
okay, six of them, yeah.
Yes, on very, very frivolous charges. A day or two before, we all woke up to the bizarre spectacle where suddenly, after a year, the government has realized that 4 military personnel attached to the speaker for personal protection were not properly deployed. 1 whole year after the fact. It is as if the speaker went to put a gun to the heads of the soldiers and ask them to come and guard him. So these are tricks that we know of. We do know
but there's been explanation to that from the Ministry of National Security,
is it the timing
from the
of
military high command?
No,
they said the letter was late. They said that
Raymond,
it was not in tandem with established procedure. Those things have been explained as justification.
The military is a highly regimented institution.
Yeah,
it is not possible for any soldier on his own volition to get up and go and offer protection services for a high-profile personality like the speaker. Those soldiers were deployed with express authorization from their superiors. If the military high command and government are saying that it was done without due process, then this is the most hopelessly incompetent institution I have ever seen. This has been done deliberately with a view to embarrassing the speaker and intimidating him for what they believe or perceive to be his role in the rejection of the very bad budget statements and the obnoxious e-levy. But back to the persecution.
Before we even actually go to that, you did mention, and for the record, you did mention that about 6 MPs. Who are these MPs?
Well, beyond even the former Deputy Attorney General, Honorable Dominic Ayini, he is being investigated over the Zwarungu market. I mean,
there's a
bizarre and inexplicable.
Okay.
The minority leader himself, Honorable John Jinapo, our MP for Akwetia, Honorable Atufosin himself, and a host of others that I could go on and on with. But these are deliberate ploys. You see, the Attorney General, unfortunately, has turned himself into a hatchet man for President Akufo-Addo and has decided...
An allegation that has been denied.
Well, of course, you don't expect him to admit it. President Akufo-Addo will not hold a press conference and say that he is witch-hunting NDC MP. So if you expect a formal statement from him, you will never get it. But we have been around long enough to know when the government is desperate and tries these tricks. In the MPP's previous guys, they did it. It did not result in them staying in power forever. They were thrown out in 2008. President Akufo-Addo has become desperate. He cannot see his way clear with the governance of this country. He's engaged in terrible maladministration. There's corruption. Our economy is on the verge of collapse, as key financial institutions and experts have indicated. He is supervising nepotism on a scale never seen before. So nothing is working in this country.
The argument is that none of this should prevent anybody from accounting.
So how is it that
how
is it that when it comes to accounting, President Akufo-Addo does not hold any member of his government to account? Abysmal Menu has been indicted by a parliamentary committee. If crime knows no name, if
the law is
no respect of persons, why is the law respecting Abysmal Menu? Why is it that the criminals who fabricated the story around people who were not journalists and took them to Australia as journalists, who engaged in visa fraud, are being respected by the law? How is it that A.B. Ejenimeji, the former PPA boss, who was caught on tape, engaged in acts bordering on criminality, why is the law respecting him? Why is the law respecting the Boss Movimpina scandal perpetrators? Why is the law respecting the NYA former director and his deputies who breached our procurement laws with impunity? Why is the law respecting the perpetrators of the fraud? And this was stated by the finance minister himself and the energy minister then, Peter Mewu. Why is it that those who engage in that fraud are being shielded? Why has President Akufo-Addo not prosecuted Boakye Jaku for the financial loss he caused in the matter of GPGC? So President Akufo-Addo has never been interested in fighting corruption. He has never believed in the rule of law. Why? Even terrorists in his party who engaged in the acts of terror at Iowa West are working free, despite a clear indication by the Emil Short Committee that they should be prosecuted. So the president has never been interested in fighting corruption. Indeed, yesterday, the Attorney General put out some flyers which his propagandists shared around containing a lot of falsehoods. One of the claims he made is that his outfit exists to ensure that corruption and losses are not incurred by the state. Yeah. Yet, he has not acted on any of these matters that I have spoken about. So this has nothing to do with fighting corruption or upholding the rule of law. It has any and everything to do with intimidating the opposition so that the president can have his way. But we have a message for the president. Look, we are not about to become pliant accomplices in his maladministration and misrule. We will not be intimidated by this. He can arrest as many NDC MPs and prominent personalities as he wants. Nobody will stop opposing him to the hilt like we've done all these years. So we are not going to become tame accomplices in this maladministration because of this crude and cruel acts of intimidation. So we are prepared to hold the feet of this government to the fire of accountability, and no amount of persecution will change that.
I want, however, to drill down to the very case before court. And documents filed by the AG's office traces the events culminating into the claims they are making from a 2009 announcement during the State of the Nation's address of plans to procure ambulances for the country. The AG says that following that address, the Ministry of Health initiated action to acquire more ambulances. The understanding it also gave was that the third accused, Richard Jakpa, is said to have used his company, Jakpa Business, to present a proposal and term loan to the Health Ministry, which he claimed to have arranged from Stanbic Bank to finance the supply of the 200 ambulances to the government. According to the AG, Cabinet endorsed that executive approval for the project. And here, Mr. Forson is being accused of not only engaging in issuing letters of credit and acting without authority from relevant institutions and authority, and going ahead to make the nation, the Republic of Ghana, incur losses. And that is the crux of the issue against him, causing financial loss to the state. Now, this ambulance conversation is at the core of it. Without that, there's no case before court in the first place. What government believes is that the actions of the people involved led to the loss because the ambulance were not fit for purpose. As of the time, in fact, the reliance is on a former health minister's letter, which in 2016 suggested that the ambulance were not ambulances that actually lived up to the standard that we wanted them to be, and so we could not accept them. Legitimate?
Very illegitimate. To begin with, as of 6th January 2017, when the Mahama administration was leaving office, not a dollar had been lost to the state in respect of this transaction. Indeed, this whole...
How do you mean?
Yes, I'll explain. This whole persecution is premised on a gratuitous lie and falsehood championed by Godfrey Dami and his horde of NPP propagandists that the Mahama administration brought in empty trotro buses and passed them off as ambulances.
Okay.
Let me use this opportunity to state emphatically that that is an infantile lie. The ambulances that came in were not empty. They were fitted with some equipment. Now, let me indicate that ambulances are not off-the-shelf items that you go and pick. Indeed, there's no company that manufactures ambulances from scratch. What happens is that the various car manufacturing companies manufacture base vehicles, which are then converted by installing equipment and accessories in them. Let me give you an example. You see the president's unending convoy. At the tail end of it is a Land Cruiser that is painted white with a red cross, on which is written an ambulance. That is a Toyota Land Cruiser V8. Toyota did not manufacture the ambulance. The president's government bought it, gave it to an entity to convert into an ambulance. The recent ambulances that Howard Kumsin has been making a song and a dance out of are Mercedes Sprinter buses. Mercedes-Benz, they don't manufacture the ambulance. They manufacture the Sprinter-based vehicle. Indeed, anybody who sees one of those ambulances passing should look at the back. Sprinter is embossed there clearly. They then got a company to convert it by installing medical equipment, and that is how it becomes an ambulance. This whole transaction stems from an agreement that the government of Ghana entered into with Big C General Trading LLC.
So that's the question I'm coming to.
Yes.
What did we agree to procure?
That is an important question. Before I go to that, in order to put to rest this mischief and lie about empty ambulances, I have sent some pictures to your producers. I hope that they put it on your screen. It shows the insides of the ambulance. They are not empty. Again, I am throwing a direct challenge to President Akufo-Addo and his hatchet man, Godfrey Dami, that if they know they are not lying about these ambulances, they should permit you at Joy FM.
Yeah.
They should give you access to the ambulances and they open them up at the Air Force Base. This is the current state.
Yeah.
It is gathering dust and rotting away. They should open up these ambulances for you to film with your camera and show to the people of Ghana to see whether they are empty. They are not empty. The agreement we entered into said in their annexes, there are annexes A, B, and C, that Big C will purchase Mercedes-Benz Sprinter 309 buses, convert them by installing fixtures, some of which are permanent, some of which are temporary, which means that you could remove them.
Yeah.
309 Mercedes Sprinter buses. That is what we bargained for. These buses that they brought were actually a higher spec Mercedes-Benz 311, much higher in specification than what we ordered for, at no extra cost to us. They converted it into an ambulance by installing permanent fixtures. And then they shipped a container load of medical equipment and accessories, including what we call defibrillators. That equipment that is used to resuscitate people who suffer cardiac arrest. Yeah. Those equipments are sitting in a 20-foot container, which has been at our port for 5 years and has not been cleared by this government.
Why?
Because they want the buses to rot away, the equipment to rot away, so they can engage in this dubious propaganda that we brought in buses that were not fit for purpose. So that is precisely what they are. Let them take up my challenge and open it up for the people of Ghana to see. Let them clear the goods at the port and open them up and allow Big C to come in with their team and install them and hand it over to them and see whether they are not of a higher specification than what our council brought us recently. You see, I'm a bit disappointed in the media, Raymond. Let me criticize you a bit. I think that you must go beyond just reporting what the parties in the matter see. Dig deep. Ask for the relevant documentation. And then you will find that Akufo-Addo and Godfrey Dami, his hatchet man, have been on a lying spree. Now, what are the facts here? They say that this was done without authorization.
Yeah.
This is the agreement. Before this agreement was signed, the AG's opinion, and the AG at the time was Martin Amidu. I have it here. His opinion is dated 20th October 2011. This, before it went to Parliament, received cabinet approval. This is a memorandum signed on 7 December 2011. This is a cabinet approval stamped confidential, signed by Ben C. Egan, Secretary to Cabinet. This here is a parliamentary memo taken to Parliament by Dr. Kwabena Dufo and Honorable Abambagun, who was Health Minister. This is a parliamentary approval communicated to government. This year is a PPA approval sought for the transaction. Now, once this was done, the agreement was then signed. You see, Raymond, every transaction, every agreement defines the terms of engagement. This agreement said that 120 days after it is signed, that is 4 months after it is signed, Big C must dispatch the ambulances in batches of 25. So after this was signed, this agreement was signed in December 2012, 19 December 2012, a few weeks before the elapsation of the Mills government. At the time, he had passed on, unfortunately, so President Mama had replaced him. Now, once that was signed and there was a changeover, Big C wrote in July of 2013, notifying us that in compliance with the the provisions of this agreement, they had converted 20 of the ambulances, and therefore they were ready for inspection, and were reminding us that per the provisions in the agreement, it was time to establish the letters of credit so that they could ship the ambulances. The then Minister of Health, Madam Sherry Aite, then wrote back and said, oh, she had just recently taken office. And so this is the first time she was hearing of this, and that she should be given time to consult relevant authorities and personalities within his ministry. That was done. She actually implored Big C to hold on to further production pending the resolution of the confusion in her mind, because she was new at this. Big C wrote back and said that no, after we signed the agreement with you, because of the strict provisions in there, we have already imported 200 Mercedes 311 Sprinter buses. Even though we said we will give you 309, we are giving you a higher specification at our own cost. And therefore, it will be impossible for us to hold on to conversion, because it will cause loss that will be irreparable to us. Based on this, the Minister of Health then contacted the Ministry of Health, who then also got in touch with the Attorney General. I've heard some MPP propagandists claim that this was done without the express authorization of the Attorney General. That is blatantly false. On the 9th of May 2014, the Attorney General, represented by Honorable Dr. Dominic Akurutinga Ajini, wrote his opinion, which was expressed. Indeed, they indicate clearly that they had even been contacted by Big C, who were insisting that we should respect the provisions of the contract, lest they will be compelled to take legal action, because they think that there is a bit of delay. The Attorney General said that he had reviewed the agreement, and therefore it will be difficult for us to sustain any case against Big C if they ever sue us. And therefore, the relevant authorities, being the Health Ministry and the Finance Ministry, should take steps to execute the provisions of the contract. The Health Ministry was a bit skeptical about this, so they wrote back to the Attorney General seeking clarification. The Attorney General was express in his opinion, and I'll read it to you. Furthermore, we wish to point out that as a matter of law, ministries, departments, agencies, and statutory corporations are bound by the opinion of the Attorney General on questions of law. Your letter under reference purports to express a legal viewpoint contrary to that of the Attorney General. In any court action on this matter, please be advised that it is the viewpoint of the Attorney General that would prevail. In the circumstance, please be advised and proceed to take steps to execute the contract in order to avoid financial liability to government.
And this is the part where in 120 days, there were specific responsibilities on both parties.
On both parties. Yeah. Big C had met their obligation, and therefore it was important for us to meet our obligation. Around this time, you see, government had placed a moratorium on further borrowing because our debt was rising. And you know the difficulties we had at that time, 2014, 2015.
That's true.
And the IMF coming in and all that. So a decision was taken that no new loans will be taken.
Which would affect the
Stanbic loan.
Okay.
So there was a back and forth, which even compelled Stanbic itself to withdraw the loan.
Okay.
So the loan was no longer available. It did not mean...
So a source of financing for the
that is the loan. You see, the loan is only one option for financing. Every year, the Ministry of Health is giving money for goods and services and capital expenditure. You can either capture the ambulances and
the allocations to the ministry.
The allocations to the ministry. You can either capture it under the goods and services budget or the capital expenditure budget, depending on what definition you give it.
Yeah.
So the Ministry of Finance decided that because the Stanbic loan was no longer available, they were going to take steps to pay out of the ministry's allocation. I've heard the Attorney General also claim that there is misapplication of funds. You use the Ministry of Health's funds to procure ambulances, which is a health equipment, and you say that it is being misapplied.
Which is something they wanted in the first place.
And we have never stopped buying ambulances. This year, in the 2022 budget, this government has programmed to buy 100 ambulances for $18 million.
Okay.
Indeed, the ambulances that Howard Kumsin brought cost $105,000 a piece. The ambulances that we were procuring cost 79,000 euros, even though they were of a higher specification than what Howard Kumsin has brought. So the ministry then gave authorization for the deputy minister to write to establish letters of credit. You see, letters of credit is not payment. It is only a guarantee that says that if you honor your obligation, this money is available for you to draw down on in terms of the cost that you incur in doing that.
At the core of this is also the claim that he was never authorized.
But that is not true. The charge sheet that Mr. Forson, that the Attorney General's office put out on 23rd December 2021, is signed by Yvonne Atakra Obobisa, Director of Public Prosecutions, for Attorney General. What is the implication of this?
That the Attorney General actually did sign it, and that it is his document.
The letter signed on the 7th August 2014 requesting for the establishment of letters of credit. Signed Honorable Kasiao A. Force MP, Deputy Minister, for Finance Minister, copied Honorable Minister, Ministry of Health, copied Minister of Finance. What is the implication of this?
So the Deputy Minister signed for the substantive minister.
So when the Attorney General goes to court and says there was no authorization, exactly what authorization is he talking about?
But is it possible that the substantive minister come out to say that no, I didn't allow this to happen?
Have you heard Honorable Secretary say this?
No.
He was copied in this letter. That means that it went into his tree.
Yeah.
If ever he had any doubt, he will stop it.
Of course, I mean, he can.
Yes.
So clearly.
So have you heard the finance minister say that he did not authorize this? So sometimes a lot of lies are peddled, and the Attorney General does not appear to be patient enough to review all the documents. Now I'm beginning to wonder whether he has seen all the documentation, because what happened in court yesterday gave me an impression that he was not on top of this brief. That because there's some mischief afoot, they've not even taken their time. Indeed, you know that they issued a statement in response to Honorable Atuforsen's contention that this is a witch hunt, in which they claimed that Honorable Atuforsen co-signed the cabinet memo in 2011.
The 5th of January statement.
Yes. Meanwhile, Honorable Atuforsen became deputy minister in 2013. In fact, we were sworn in as deputy ministers at the same time, on the same day, myself, Honorable Atuforsen, and the rest. Yet, they said that he signed a document in 2011 when he was not a minister. So there's a lack of thoroughness. Statement was thrown out. Not less than half a dozen NDC MPs.
All right. Thank you very much. God bless you. And thank you for coming here to hear me out. Now this comes to, now I come to my editorial. Now this is the point. Now let me briefly speak about this Atuforsen issue. Now my Christmas tree thief. I remember on so. Now my catch I must say, a Akufo-Addo government way no. They don't have any idea. Me say upo bi na what bono financial loss to the state osafo mafo ho sankofe bomudi nyina omu nyina omu ho. You can go and do it. Omo echi omo on tape nyina they are there, but you don't care. It's just a fact that you want to perceive now squeezy members of parliament, and we know we don't play with our members of parliament. We all know that our members of parliament have duties. And adia omu ye no, womu nim de omu ye. Attorney General on winning case da. Na ayami ya so oni Akufo-Addo ayese na omu ye de omu ye no. E na Akufo-Addo waye num se na nim ti se akura emuna na ope aduane ewo ne fie edi. Na onyendi sa na Akufo-Addo waye nim se epo unmepo e na otiwo oye ne ho se onim de ekoso. All that is going on, he is not aware, but he is behind this, trying to do all this to spite the people of Ghana. And unim, when I'm being real with you, I'm being real with you because Akufo-Addo has even overstayed his welcome. He should have resigned long time ago. PDS was when Akufo-Addo should have resigned. But on who say on Ferrari, neni wadi, because in your name, it's just something kai. Of course, we are pepeni. We are Beni, na yedima asantenia, on one kai, and Fanu, I said a numua, aha, a suffering numua, and no. And this is the way they are living. Okay, Umenko Asantehini behavior. Shadia air koso. Asantehini, Afe, when ya no, woo utiho, when ya no, challenge you be or tini chrome, all kind of history, won't ya also Canadian. They saying you are leading this into a different thing. Asantehini, mama yo say, ubetwe bulobi o, utubon bulobi, work is out to one, utubon, work is out to one, utubon. Look at a statement, or hini mwa, umbu baku mehwe wo ntoma ene wagudie wabotre ene wo wakudie no ahofama uhuye me fe but me hu so umbu meba why the hell should a king like you open his mouth to say Kwame Nkrumah mpoa na ompay asem wabodam me bisa that question Kwame Nkrumah edienti na ompem asem bisa hu that question na meba sebe ohini muwa utumi biwa no ekachire wiase nyina wonim se okasa news ensema eye pesa obeka no wotumi nka ekufado nsemfu a odin wotumi nka because obebro gold coin because obebro sika je opebia odbema etinu you don't want to say anything against him, okay? No one better see after the catch the Ghana for and the whole world say na Kwame Nkrumah etan asante for mebo Kwame Nkrumah otan asante for sen Kwame Nkrumah no otan asante for sen bese bisa asante hene don't be a nitwit when you be work school what's that but you man why do you behave this way Kwame Nkrumah no otan asante for sen tribal bigot like you. How do you say something like that? Eti Akufo-Addo ba here. Oh, watch a voter every oti every voter we. I time before. Silly talk, unnecessary statement. A big man like you, a king like you, a very wise man like you that I thought about. But knowing you now, you are not wise. Kwame Nkrumah otan mo sen etinete say oti region ye fi vote mu a wo mu mpo ya ma wo mu efene say ebinimu representation in parliament no wo person ka tell say Akufo-Addo otan before right Akufo-Addo afa sojafo ene policefo ekoku voter e make bu agbefo mesraw otan before wo Akufo-Addo fast soldier for Kobo Upper East Northern region for no me pacho otan pepper for one. Don't be stupid. Yankasa sa na udi okun beba manim. Kwame Nkrumah antai asantefo and asabi one more time. First in fact, let me make my statement right. Na min kan ye na man kan sem hunu to say wo penyimu to say wo se hunu a wo kam. Number 1, Kwame Nkrumah one time asantefo binimo and a time Kwame Nkrumah me correction and my year me person be kan sem hunu to say asante hene and I'm being real with you and I say I'm making me mean sure and I make me say I hear the correction and I'm saying this again asante hene we are bigot we are man before now you need to be told you need to be questioned and by the same and Kwame Nkrumah one wabadam and they na sabe asantefo Akufo-Addo ni papa do mu ene asantefo binimu a no sambre no wo mu run Ghana no and they no man fanya Kwame Nkrumah was almost assassinated how many times that he lived maybe so who am na ye enkrafo na ye I before na ye I was for the ye enter for the ye is my for the ye maybe so he for the ye be smart and stop being foolish menfa mpapemu enfamba omanimu. We don't want anything of that sort in Ghana and we are cautioning you who wakonya suwa wakonya and soon send Nyankopon akonya your wakonya na ukura no and soon send nyame akonya who kasa dodo asante hene who kasa too much. It's bad. Are you telling me say Akufo-Addo tibon kosuwe onumpo a wabeyi oti ade free a voter regime no otan before what is say obi kasa Akufo-Addo tibon koso obebedi gara so fa asoja fo ena police fo fa wo motuo se de omko kunto kwa no I only call Upper East Northern region. Eko bu womu I before ebu I before disenfranchising womu no mesro asante hini beyi mano say when the beka say asante for anase ekufado eten I before enentafo na wo ohini muwa mibisa question edebe na wo okafa ho we hu bi da we hu say president bi weda wo ka ho asem debi esan say ekufado wo best friend ena edi ade entini nyina no eye onye fa ko enne wenya no panyimu de say wo ne obenya skemishisa wo betra say Kwame Nkrumah mpo a sebe no time yen akanfo mpo. Are you serious? Asante, are you serious? You should be ashamed of yourself. You are ashamed. Sikadano, you should be ashamed of you. Sikada is ashamed of you. The God who knows all things know that you are a wrong person and a liar. Can't wait. Anyone you then? Who can wait? Then what did you get out of this statement? Should the 1 year I before? Mumu sorry. Who asante hene? Sabe. Why you? Wo nana. Aye. Hwene kasiye. A school a Ministry of Education. Eko say ho. Ya say the number e fa say a Ministry of Energy. Wa be say ho. Onu netina se ka say finance minister enim na say ope allocation say if akoma keta afo na wo munya see the first issue no ubeboa asantefo ano na wo de omako demonstration against the finance ministry meboa asante did you say anything about it? I before omuya mwa omuya nkwasiafo omuya nwan mebisa Jimiko ohini muwa buana mi boom mitumi mbie ma no pora me no kasa na wo kasa wo ka kire se adwina wo kura no wo ka ho na Akufo-Addo odi nsefon. You are part of it because you don't even respect the constitution. You sit down there and throw your weight about. Who should I say? The ma o man no gada no e ya wo dia e hye wase. I'm ashamed. Santehini, I'm ashamed of you. I'm ashamed of you. And cry for you. And cry for what my be. I before what my be. Ye kaku could draw for what more your policy mu any amemua. I before and then tough for. Miss Slow, Sam Reno, not 34, not shoe shine. And the nay. That's a moon I would know. Anyway. Let me come back to this Christmas tree thief. Now, Christmas tree thief, my main cast bicho, Jimena or Jimena Dawson, Mebao. Look at this guy. Tumba Transe, ever ma analogy. I say, football na, Wamuko boy, no, blasters ko boy, and ya anas, I read me yaw, anas, and na okoso sadiano, because a sports GFA boss, GFA boss are misconducting home, are incriminating the president, the vice president, and all those that are behind it were incriminating. Just the fact that this guy brought the video out now, papa wedding, and ka ontina ho abua wo wako wia sika akoto Christmas tree. Who to me you one ye hwasem osambe kai because yeta wachi who can't some say ya, you be brosika, you be sabro, into now so far wedi. Mebo, this is the reason why I was say journalist would see any appointment, any free government be a you can't. It's wrong against our ethics as human beings. Yenyansa, Yakuma, Yado for the nation. And you are doing this. You are not saying anything about it. Mawadam, Krono, what Bokwanu say? Yenye mebo eti enka GFA boss no nsa funa na oka obi na show na no Say Uncle Kase, President, you know, woman is car, obeja or man now. Now a kapa. Why na so na no? Ye pre-programming na. It is his attitude and what he says. We can bear not to it that the president is money conscious and useless. Were you not there when the president swore with one hand and took bribe with two hands? You had gold in your hands, very, very heavy in your hands. You swore with one hand, and $40,000 you take with two hands. It's a shame. It's a big shame. And I'm not going to condone to such a thing. Me catch you. Yeah, so depending more. You can't cry. No crying, can die. And we will fight until the end of the day. And I'm telling you, Asantehene, if you start anything in Doma, Chale, you won't like it. Yes, because leadership, Papa Nukrano, Asantehene, unibi. Asantehene, unibi. You want to go, you will go to go. Na kajetia, coach na ho as a leader. Yes, your minimum. Look at the Mahini, his leadership, his intelligence, his stance, strips himself naked, goes to the floor, work with his common people to make sure the place is clean. Please, please, stop the nonsense. No man can cry. Anyway, thank you very much. God bless you. I'm done venting. And this is me. No crano. Me to be found to change. Nobody do I fear to speak truth. The spirit upon me is bigger than the human being. And I'll speak the truth to the end. And God is my light and my salvation. And I'll fear no one on this earth. Omo me wukono. Omo nseme. Yes. It's yen slow mumbodua empanyifu a mote ekrom na mo hini di nsemhu ne eka na makotwa nkonya ene emmoa ene nwan na mo bodua jimifo enye moa mo asante hene enye ono na ka se mo bia mbodua asante memu no na ba ne sen oba ne sen say na upe nkofo mbe ko ama wo ombedi nkwasi asem on your behalf. Enipa, one bedin kwasasem on behalf. Now we feel say, you obi abatena say, you be ko ma santemai. Asantemai din kwasasema, yen ko ma santemai me asantedi. The world we have now is different. All right. God bless you. After this break, I am going to take phone calls.
Now, there was information that Chrissy and probably you tried to pay for the video to not to be shown.
Well,
even though Tiger has denied any participation in that, but
yes,
there's information to that effect.
There is information, and there's truth in that information. Apparently, we became so desperate when we realized that all that were presented to us were false. So we tried to make some interventions, and they proposed that he pay some money. They proposed $150,000. My husband couldn't afford $150,000, so he gave us $100,000. And then they came back to him and said, the person says you need to add $50,000. He said, well, I don't have. So that's all that I have.
So what happened to the 100?
It was later returned when they showed the video.
Now, there was information that Chrissy and probably you tried to pay for the video to not to be shown?
Well,
even though Tiger has denied any participation in that, but
yes,
there's information to that effect.
There is information, and there's truth in that information. Apparently, we became so desperate when we realized that all that were presented to us were false. So we tried to make some interventions, and they proposed that he pay some money. They proposed $150,000. My husband couldn't afford $150,000, so he gave us $100,000. And they came back to him and said, the person says you need to add $50,000. He said, well, I don't have. So that's all that I have.
So what happened to the 100?
It was later returned when they showed the video.
Now, there was information that Chrissy and probably you tried to pay for the video to not to be shown.
Well,
even though Tiger has denied any participation in that, but
yes,
there's information to that effect.
There is information, and there's truth in that information. Apparently, we became so desperate when we realized that all that were presented to us were false. So we tried to make some interventions, and they proposed that he pay some money. They proposed $150,000. My husband couldn't afford $150,000, so he gave us $100,000. And they came back to him and said, the person says you need to add $50,000. He said, well, I don't have. So that's all that I have.
So what happened to the 100?
It was later returned when they showed the video.
Now, there was information that Chrissy and probably you tried to pay for the video to not to be shown.
Well,
even though Tiger has denied any participation in that, but
yes,
there's information to that effect.
There is information, and there's truth in that information. Apparently, we became so desperate when we realized that all that were presented to us were false. So we tried to make some interventions, and they proposed that he pay some money. They proposed $150,000. My husband couldn't afford $150,000, so he gave us $100,000. And they came back to him and said, the person says you need to add $50,000. He said, well, I don't have. So that's all that I have.
So what happened to the 100?
It was later returned when they showed the video.
Now, there was information that Chrissy and probably you.
All right. Thank you for your patience. Maybe say this question be. The question I want to ask is that, do you think Anas doing that good work he did, ruining and putting down people in high places, or let me not say people in high places, I would say that, I would say principalities in high places, pulling them down. Sorry, principality. Awaji meni monyam me fire. Me dinyamija guso me fire. Fire. Principality no unhunida. Naso nantechi onoso ya principality. Shadi a oye no a principality. Enti sanas I run the draws are. Why bone? Enti, are you telling me that only Kosi Nantechi is the only person that can handle FIFA or even Ghana Football Association or Black Stars? I'm asking you, how can you be that dishonest and be that stupid? I just want to know. I'm just worried. Now, I'm going to show you another video so that you will tell me, Sam, Adewe, Eya na Enye. Bisa. I share video we na ka kyerɛ me deɛ wodwene ho na mewie a mayɛ me comment.
Now watch this. What will make a journalist stand on TV and make these kinds of analysis?
People them and we get excited. You got excited by number 12. Everyone got excited. The result of it is that your football is where it is today, where the Black Stars go to the African Cup of Nations and they are beaten by Comoros Island. They've been defeated by Comoros. 3 goals. Ghana has conceded 3 goals against Comoros Island. A loss to Morocco is okay. We beat Morocco. Morocco beat us. We beat them. They beat us. We beat Egypt. They beat us. That's okay. A draw with Gabon is not that great. But that's still okay. It happens. Upsets happens in tournaments, one here and there. But to go into a game against Comoros and concede 3 goals, that's the lowest that you can get to. And it gets to that point because when number 12 came, we didn't handle it well. The evidence of number 12, the facts out of number 12 could have been handled. People were writing letters to FIFA. Sack Kwesi Nyantakyi, sack him, sack him, sack him. When a man has identified a role and decided on his own to build himself into that role, and along the line he has mentors who help him, and the mentors bring him up, he gets into the role, he doesn't finish there as Ghana Football Association president, he goes out into the world. Now to take the flag of Ghana and show that Ghana should be recognized by international football associations. All the FIFA executives could call him by first name even before he went there to be a member of the 24. He was in pole position to become the next CAF president. Everybody knew that. Everybody in CAF knew that once Hayatu is done, the thing will go to Ghana. Kwesi Nyantakyi will get it. By now, Kwesi Nyantakyi would have been the president of the Confederation of African Football. The level of respect that Ghana gets would have been out of the roof. But today we are crying that we have been defeated by Comoros. Because, as the Bible said, do not be deceived. Whatever a man soweth, that is what he will reap. What we have sowed in bringing somebody just getting excited that somebody who has built something has had an issue in some number 12 documentary, and we are just excited. We are happy and running around and we are excited about the story. That excitement.
This is a journalist. This Christmas tree thief. So his basis was that if even Nyantakyi is a thief, because he has been at the FA and through his criminal activities, we were supposed to ignore the documentary, discredit the documentary, and allow Nyantakyi to be the FA boss. This is Paul Adomotri, the host and CEO of Metro TV. This guy calls himself a journalist. This Christmas tree thief. You see how difficult it is, but I want to show you something. The Nyantakyi is trying to defend and build for us to look like, for him to look like God to us. This is the Nyantakyi. This is the person, a journalist is sitting on national television defending, calling everybody a fool because Anas Arimia Anas, through number 12, Ahmed Swale was shot. Paul Adomotri is a journalist like Ahmed Swale. Ahmed Swale investigated the FA. Ahmed Swale was shot for bringing out crime. After the investigation, FIFA, CAF, they have actually penalized or disciplined Nyantakyi. At the end of the day, a fellow journalist died. This is Nyantakyi.
He's a politician.
We'll start with the Minister of Roads, and his deputy. I think that we can find some money for them. When we go, you and I, you meet them one, and you give them money to them personally. And I think that you can start with something small, your own discretion. Then, when you get the contracts, big contracts, you can go back and give them more money. And then you take over the whole country. Yes. That's how we should do it. Yes.
The president was then seen gathering the money into a gift bag. The president then went over the bribery plan, this time critically sneaking in an extra $1 million as his and Abu's share, making $12 million in total.
I will give you good advice He is my small brother. If you're able to give money to the president of the country, the vice president, the minister, we are finished. I'm telling you, we are finished. This is 5 plus 3, 8 plus 2, 10 plus 1, 11. You add another 1 million for us. 12 million. 12 million. Okay. Can we agree when we can get this visit to Ghana to do it so that we can start quickly?
Perhaps blown away.
This is what Paul was defending. This is the Nyantechi Paul Adumochi was telling us we are fools to have sacked from the FA.
I me catch Roma Simbi Jimmy and then Kwasiasem a betakolako ho. Paul, why Jimmy too much? Who Jimmy for? Unim Nyansa. Unim Nyansa. We a stupid man. Say u behave sir. Pen kure enunti ena wo wako wiesika akoto Christmas tree no. Ain Christmas tree thief, as Kevin Taylor says. Mebao. Now let me show you something. You are defending a man that sat there, that is close to the president, that is close where the president is, knew where the president is. Okay? At the moment when the president was in travel, knew where the president is. Okay? I'm even sure said the president knew where he was going. And at this moment, Wabet say, my president, so we should give money to the president, give money to the vice president, and it goes on to some people that if you give the president money, he will give the whole country to you. What I say, and woo abrante we are where Jimmy are way. We are close to the president as well. That's why they have given you a post. Because I've never seen a journalist managing a post of that kind. And I had the amount. Enti ubai asisino and say what Jumana woo yeno. President Obejisika na what jaya krono ama amanfrafo no mafa kronako me pacho eye. Not only that, it is alleged, and we know that this man, Ahmed Swale, that died, was either Kennedy Japan or the FA boss that sent him to be killed. We know that. Into that aspect, Mabel, who defend the way, who best me saying, what are you telling me? That it's okay that even though he put the whole country into that disgrace, it's okay that he remains the FA boss. That is the reason why you can't defend the truth. When things are happening that are wrong, you can't defend the truth. Na anas avimiya sikana odeko man na oji yeno mesraw sabi se anas avimiya empo ena na oji bribe efi ni hokra na ni sikana odi man no eno no oji na dey back. And not the back. What is getting free? That's what they buy. And you know, it's called the Maui, any $100,000. And I'm telling you, he should have paid the money back, knowing that he's disgraced and he's cheap and he's a thief and he's a disgraceful man. He should have come out and apologized to the whole country. Yes, and the president should have resigned. If this happened in America, the president would have been impeached. The president likes money. If you give him $5 million, he will let you come and take over the country. Can we agree on when to go and do this payment? What this guy we ask you? What should I say? Guys, moment ka dokure, moment ka dokure, moment intro. Na sa de we, na Jimmy for say, yetete ho, no mo ton man, no mo sell man, na yete ho ne ye bre. Krono etuwa woo catch say the president needs money. He's a money lover. The vice president should have resigned as well. And you people are sitting there defending this, and through that you have had a young man murdered in cold blood. And you defend Nantechi. And so you think your mind, your abysmal thinking, your anti-clockwise thinking and brain malfunctioning. Maybe so. Do you think that Anas Arimayao was the one in the legs of the Black Stars playing the football? It's a question. Jimiano Adosu. And Muasabno Adosu. Yentrasio this year. We won't sit down. We will blast. We will talk. You can't gag anybody. You can't. The president previous time when Mahama was in power, look at what he said. There is no water, there is no light, there is no money, there is no day. I should have gotten that text message from undergrad. I should have asked earlier on. And there's no even victory on even Black Star football. And he did politics with it, thinking that you, Ekufado, you will come and win a football tournament. Bako kura ye wini bida. Ubetra say, udu bad luck. Uti say, pempro wati. Uti dindini, wini kakraka, wanu ting se train wati. Ubetra hono. Then why the waste of management is what you have put up, and nobody is talking because you are paying your way out through everything you are doing. God will punish you. The phone lines are open. Come and tell me what you think. Thank you very much, and God bless you. Call fast. Let's blast this and go. Because ye diagro and ye about down at you. Hello,
machine gun preacher.
yes, mommy.
Good evening.
Good evening, mommy. Tobi Avawala.
It's a question why I am a job there, and that's also someone winning and that's not come for born. Question I'm making me sign the end of the same design. Any mistake there, pa? Any mistake there, pa?
Debbie.
I said them, secondly, talk about the deaf school.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Bele. Okay.
Domain or canasa or canaba quasam. What's one baquasam a becky? Now I will learn back there. I will what is true. In the second so a betra do a hill far, no one so woman is seen a worker saw him. Thou asante him, so I may saw him grandpa. On the Mahomet the wood food, which will be no showing. Now I'm in the master named Muku. Marco was carrying the platform, Muku radio, what platform to Makamaka. I could see a guy named actually on ye in your president. Asante, what is one kingdom? One kingdom. Captain the Ayan Butarians and yet you can pull out down from Yaya. You're rich, quad in Nigeria. Mama, you were funded a Domafu. Agricul share border. It's my Western when you share border. I'm on way a model. And a Kasa, be careful now with your papa. It's in yesterday, the alloy of Patadanian for entrance me. A Kusa, a Kora, a queen. It's one show woman the year, and that when a young one did that with a pussy man, you will lose their kingdom. Now, if you don't be Sasa to holiday. First, Dr. Kwame Nkuma on pay Asante Fuma. Subama Asante in Olubu. Ghana Betiafu and Omelette do one. Ghana Betiafu will cook one. Ghana Betiafu will power what number as a double check out. Ghana Betiafu will force no one check out. The Nakufa will go to me, Lala. Not Asante in check out into Asante or son, or to the Ghana for your Fanasama. Ghana for your Fanasama. When I go Friday, a wild was in a baby. I get any baby, when you know you're the fun why I'm doing it. happy to president. So you happy to president. What kind of happy to president? Better than Yanyan. Better Yanyan. And I'm also so much to be big, but say Yadi. The Nakufado or your control Calabra. What can be your control? There, I don't own you for Oji offer. I'm not Bible or Jane, Paul, only you are. Check. I am the best at the time of president at Amos Mono. On in Napoleon, I take it to on in YouTube.
Yeah.
I don't go GB to me. Yeah, because the way Professor Thomas too, we need to know. I'm a main watching. Yeah, who journalists in a movie who they are poor, but they work with the president.
That's right.
I would not need Kevin. One for one camera, one for GBs, one for GBs, buildings, no why. What's it? Ghana GBs, no way. One should GBs, buildings, no why. And I want small journalists, which will be away from the one to be put. Let me be there. Professor Thomas, Solomon, or Lawrence, Namahamano. Send you out when you answer there. Journalists, most of them on poster. The monk of you will what you do. What you do. The thing the Alice in the Siapo will put him at the Nakufa the Nema. The Nakufa room by Lord Kadabagana. And gas away spread what do was so in there. President. Up to president.
And you're the president.
Up to Anya Papa. Anya control. The Nakufa the control. Only in our control. Na oye lele lalaba di fafini dadi echinama banata mado di fafini dadi oye mesese yin lowo but adori ye no nye tell me tell the kuledu nye mpa organize the Ghana bisia for you awu agro for no organize one no entumo kada one ye femi no mpo no one tolega since ya awu e Ghana na e de guda binimi de Ghana is in a cut and an apple father the bad rock at Abagana. Irajua, a young fancy, a course school, a bay journalist, a winning master school for super and farmer. I will keep the Rajua. Medasi.
Let me show. Yeah, that was a good one. All right. Yankwe, Momra Yanko. Hello.
Yes, I've already saying.
But you're now swear.
Boy, another room out there, chair, Michi and Monica, none of them, which are captain, captain chair, captain, and catch engine on your I'm getting in touch. I would say, we can't say me, mammy, can't we be quick? Say, Bible, say, Jimmy Samuel, but I prefer come home. And Jim Fadi and Jim Frigo.
That's right.
Let me say, Ghana, you're penny for long. Ye ain't casse, a Jimmy Samanasi and Cassin Quasimo. The Becassa abro at Taromacoma. Idiot,
oh, but try be careful. In chat of the day.
Safaro, as some making yes, Resemo. Bible now, young fan sell La Paso Sama, any so okay. So, it's the American is woman, yet the attended and about why, sir, a friend is saying. Yen can say Jimmy Sam, yen can say a promo, the big year from Macoma. So, what I say now, I mean, could say, so we share Arab countries now. And I say, developed countries and I say other countries now, already are helpful, a boom, compared to Ashanti region. Say, Emily Uti, a video be covered. And now, one of Dubai phone be will be an interview me said that a name background. And I'll say, Omono oil kakra munya, and no more,
yeah, because I video.
Nigeria all the resources. But make us a Ghana acquire all the resources more than Nigeria.
That's right.
Because many Ghana assassin a war on Yankopon and for Bibia and Camille. So what I say? Assassin a Ghana soil. And you're very rich. The whole world. Assassin be the one rich. Some Ghana. So what I say?
That's right.
It's a ocean Ghana. Yebeka says a wood tracy in Ghana for wood tracy, if I say your history, ye cut Israel for ye Ghana for the Israel. So what I say, be and one young upon the come here. But for head on way. I think, and then I may share will be flashy, will be a share Kai interviewer. Nipanidi a year. Sometimes on the local Facebook, which mean some flashy interview beer, some portion beer over like within 2 minutes, and I say, Ashanti regional minister. Papa, your friend is saying,
Sa papa na papa no Jimmy for no me nim ne dimpo
just we or say one you live, you know, or can some fool be or say we transfer 3,000 why you are why need the cake, only the cake. Well, they will come and sit on national television, and then this journalist for no more Ghana na Jimmy for na ye more musica no more jam and kwasia phobia na say and no be money point be ma betana radio so no more can some phone chiri by the anyone as so no. I think say it's about time we are coming to them. So what I say, at the time I say, which me send 3,000 said the band, need the cake, no cancer and phone bill. We are saying, say, either say, which me send 3,000, which me send 160, which me send 10,000. We don't give a hook about all the nonsense of Mukano. They are representing people, the parliamentarians are representing people, the Ghanaians. So what I say, I can say, sir, you lady who say whatever they are talking about, yampe, into your more saying. How they say, and you know, you must uncle phone be TV, so no can question one not on one tiasiano. They will say, so, oh, as some are quick and answer, and so in some fun one I and some are training, in some young sending, and I am now, my main phone about a
but you wrap it up now. Hold on.
Okay, Mate.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes, madam.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Yes. Good morning. Me friend Ghana.
But you kasa free
here. Kasa free Ghana.
Aye, but you himfa Ghana himfa.
Hello.
Me but you Ghana himfa.
Oh, Ashoma Estate.
Oh, Ashoma Estate. I know baby kusu.
I mean, you're too close, but you're far from Brekusu. Yeah.
That's right. Let me tip Brekusu.
Me da si baby.
Na match for saying.
Okay. But you say.
But you for saying.
But you me din di
Nukumoko.
Me din.
Ah. And I can't cry. Can't enko.
Me da si baby. Ne juma pa we ma oh my God. In fact, Matilda, but me share that and share a program say that.
Now, what me do way? Now, what you me do way?
And now, what you say?
What you me do way?
What you mean?
Meton kapa. Me bisa so uti me din way.
But my main cause way me did say uti me. What can some baby? Ama me who say uye kukudrufo. Uye kukudrufo. Kevin Taylor. Kweku skate. Omo keka ho a omo aye omo adwen se omo pese Ghana enko nanim
to say a breed to say youth no baby ye di Ghana MPP di Ghana do no they say ye who say ye wo youth odoma oman no to say near Jerry baye no kudro ene baye ena obeti sane me beni ema Ghana okunji Ghana ema o fighting ye maniko do baby a edu ye ansa na edu baby ohun say say obesi from ma friend saying na democracy any dwuma Ghana hanum oye nyema bebre esesa nyema esesa Ghana ni but say no baby asasa ye chia kono before say Jerry eba be take you over no say Ghana asasa ni sane asako na chipio ko nyema Jerry fight for no nyema Jerry be fight for no say enu kura nya say no except those time no so the question here be say onim say me no ka say and somehow kika nyina concern ye nyama commit me a defend any phone jimi no jimi o man no obet baby no rider no journalist rider helping the leaders na ss omukumo o man no the journalism we're gonna have rider is helping those people to destroy the country for us. When you say me no can say nyina obe ye to hono no obe abolish ni nyina and not now just say me no can say Jerry ni first I go for the first promise or promising no ni MPP for Oba obeye amana successful ni say Jerry have to go down. The papa na Jerry end. When him say conference center akufado epese obubu conference center egu ho. The whole almighty conference center wo a friend is saying conference rooms about 5 or more. Conference room, beautiful conference rooms like one no. Akufado pese obubu because Jerry and a the next target is National Theatre. Niama Akufado are planning just because Niama NDC or the youth animal in nephew. So a question may be sunny say to the youth and the journalists because Ghana Yebe journalists na ebe jinama mino. They say look at Paul Adum me sa guy na makuma na me makuma ebidi. I don't watch it. I was so happy you mentioned this. Say, as a journalist, who a juma abaya or what power? A juma fino, and you a juma fi abaya. Any journalist, it's a because there's no Obekan who create actual man for you. To say, one person was starting edgy at the Mudi, what every so as a journalist, as some way, Obek now TV show, Obek can say, Obek what defend you, just one going to interview. Who necessarily yes, I say, you are making sure say you are protecting Omwana Omino and Crawford a try some exposed and Crawford. Now, no, this guy, a year before Okumu. Just because say or expose you have the guts to wear a black dress to come and stand there a brandy pa ebe catch Ghana for say that guy now on your no just a fata say your because or expose Nyamaboni Ademudia your whole president. By now, no, Akufado your president, a friend is Arab country, baby. I can by now, no, you're hanging. Anka ya hanging no. Any device me, or more media china, but Sapa pay way or Tiasi Wahano. And yes, as some way by and now your Kofoka Mugwasia and Mama, Anka, they will make sure say guy no promo, almost any lady. Yakachi, Anka, only lady. And yes, I got for the Anuguay. Someone expose your video that way, and catch us still not. Or that's what your friend say. So they have the gas to come and defend such a man. Kill this innocent guy. Up to now, there was security and yes, our come has say they do anything to prove say they are there for the nation. Security Yet to so all they could do is say they lick the back of Omu. Now look at Asantehini Asema working. Asantehini send nipa ebunu whole Ashanti region na gold bia de na yeka de bia papa di gold adware no ho na wo manfo a wo hye wase no they are crying, they are dying ye adwuma anye ye bisa Asantehini say efuto bi pepa na odi ma Akufado so be ye bibi dia boni manfo a nye adwuma anye Ashanti region has the hosu she crowd dey wo hono Ashanti region road aye wo ho nyema ebom basa wo hono basa ni be fry to mark kese afra gold kese na she say eno ani Asantehini jira Asantehini no eno ani say Asantehini ana a she say when you na Asantefo ne mi ya no na Asantefo ya na ye kasa tia ya Asantehini ba wo mo de wo Asantehini o ti ho no e komo de no on she say o je so be nya adwuma ye if some of them they are right, you know. All the pride say in the name of me for Nana. It's no say on Ukraina okay. And no na Ashanti region. So if for no, they don't even respect their own people, no, because Akufado is satisfying them. So they don't even care. So Ghana, me by US, me by just Friday, last Thursday, Sunday, in fact, I was asking questions. Brother, Obedu a beautiful airport na see no. Obedu honoma odi aminim se mutu kwa mukoba. Na nukrenie me do airport no, me repair. A job for the boys. Was some a youth ya begu airport, senior airport, utu kwa baby airport ya omu I make sure that the place is decent, you know. Go see Ghana Airport, international to Mohammed Sinu. Rahona Shadia. Boys, you know, harassing the Hokona Yabano. Everybody's attacking. People asking you, what do you have in your bag? Do you have phone? Do you have this in your bag? Like everybody is just attacking you. Oh, airport. You even for say you are in the airport. They say you're decent. You are just supposed to be go be. Now we actually way back. Now we be somewhere. Question says Nyane Bissau. What Brekua in airports are you mama. That's not how they handle it. They are just there to take money from people because Akufado be a Juma and Magana for you. And not to know assist Sakogu airport honum or Rahonum Alpha. Tell you to there, you will not go there. It should not to come by ya. Come to that area. Now do honum Alpha. And no when you airport Ghana, ya just say we are in zero. Yeah, just a Ghana said Ghana Titia Pansam. Airport Park, I said decent place, you know. Go and see if you crowd say the airport, you know, before said Omaha, see this new one, or yeah, the international, you know, or yeah, the standard, and you were very high, and yes, so you go who say change the Gaba before we see Terminal 3. If you go to the Terminal 3, enter there, man, share down and say, you just go inside. What is happening there? Airtime, Papa. Offer airtime. It's when we now you see your wallet. Because Akufado or Tihonum, she didn't meet me ending say elect is better than Akufado. Yami Onshroud.
I'm sure. All right, champion Koso.
Yeah, you what was say many about some of the kind also what you quite until when you do order.
That's right.
That's all my difference. So what I say. In 79 now, let me go back to paying for now. You're paying for no what was the first a pay pass or because I penny.
That's right.
Somewhere I can say I'm paying for the day or more than a young pro. And you know, generation here too says now technology not very high. Obia to me cuckoo, name a people who say, Nema we and a second and a second and a second. Intino, we as we say. Inti Ama Kakrana or Mabeti social media siena. Ombi timping for Natama, Copim said, or Messa.
Yeah.
So now, here example, paying for say, in Kadu Dicano, do DH is fair duty can and now, here or Sa, Yafana say, or something. To see here. First, I only wine now because I just something.
So what you say?
Yeah.
You miss say a sabem pa na sante hene e twa to wo say ya say omo mo di ejire omo mefa so. E di pa na sante hene bitimi aka. Sisi ya say why ye isusu age bia to ho a ye fa ne say ahemfo ne di ejire pa no on mefa so. And one say obeto na beti ena we media ena we me ma che say yes say go see rufi nkwala no kuma se no yes nya asem ketwa me ma che say no kwa dia e dia kwaya dia pa say sano ena wo twa to ho dia ena e tirima for no use no ma ba no on be dina tema akopim so be wo now e dia mpa na do ma hen kan e dia ena do ma hen kan so aka bibi kurampo na say nyampo na enka wo as a leader anka wo set an example no what do you have to do? You call the person that will back door meaning say this therefore say the balance here na wo san ba na de wo won wa be kan wo bedwam enti say e ka jimifo ene nyansafo a say say ahwanye be yi no say ya
But you shall find.
Sabi o se do ma hine jimi na so ye jimi de na asante hine ne nim nyansa na opeso chelo kwa ye fa so yesu nyansa ye jiri ma fo no kwani bi so efiri ho
Me ba ka che me answer question ma me
ba cho say
o question no you are one no yen hwe and can accept yo
if care is not taken on, this is going to lead to tribal war.
Yeah.
If care is not taken, this issue is going to lead to tribal war. But so Ghana, Apakosem Kakra, anything Bia will happen, Bia the issue baby Biano, saying free as anti-memoir. Now, won't be free. Have you say, what is it, Futa region? And the question was say, where's a man of your henny, men of your hand, ping-pong, and I'm a chain way, and I'm easy, and I'm easy. What to be that? What to be that? Won't you Eastern region, sir, the Kaka. But you Asante Mine, you know, yet do Asante Mine, yet you're not for a Asante 4, but a to the Bion Asante 4 billion. If you say we are superior more than everybody in this earth, it's about time we need to speak wisdom and show my opinion. Say, so when you answer, so if we support wisdom, Fatich will cool, na Fatich or mine. Ma emabuno omo wasa asese no omunya ahoto na munya say me na mete kokoso na na wote tuntum so we don't give a hook about it kacha de wote kokko na wote so say ompedwuma pa ma wonye na wonya so shine na wo ye no so aja say
yeah
say wote kokoso na good ayi tu Ghana man nyina no asante ni tufi ade ampa na asante man etimi ayama asante man ko ane ya beka say Ghana mpo. So what I say, it say, or two for Becca or your King Solomon, any Becca say, make us a cacao, a cabby
but that's it. I'm not for like
that.
So that's it. Hello? Hello, caller.
Hello.
But your body.
Pacho, you free me wise.
Wise at the saying, okay, free here.
Hello.
Wise Kasa, okay, free here.
Pacho, me Kasa free order.
Order, yo, wise, but your Kasa, mammy.
Nah, do me very young. Me a showy polo, a doom archery. When you one year, Jimmy, obey me, papa. But some man, at times, no. O kasa unu kasa ya sebiu we Jimmy
Pia
se sika dada na adwin nti obeye se bia akoda ni maame kyerɛ no kwan anaa kyerɛ no adeɛ nti de bia ɔyɛ analysis bi anaasɛ mehwɛ ni analysis anaasɛ ɔyɛ bibi wɔ social media metumi hwɛ ne dinam si no ɔma wei no ɔnim nyansa fi sɛ sika ɔde sika kyi ɔmode sika dada na nti metie sɛ ɔmo de na yɛ bob chairman nam sɛ o asa ɔmo agye me no ɔmo agye me na aka a very good person but the career asɛe wode twɛn MPP ɛmfiri konya no so na hwɛ saa ɔbɛti the career asɛe nti
you're right
in fact ɛsɛ ɔn advice no ho but wogyimi mini yɛhyia wɔ exam ana biribi a mbɛbiti no ɔnim nyansa meda ase
meda ase hello yes
Good evening.
Good evening, I say. Me to me crabble pa. Me what they say. I shall go from pa. That's it.
Christmas tree thief we over. Christmas tree thief. The name go ase. And you do be doing why na basa say in Canfona.
Pacho, and Canfona, daddy.
And Canfona, I am fish.
Hey!
Yeah, I fish.
I see. Okay, Koso.
Park and throw the swap. Go between the day are you. Ana a friend saying, a colana back who between me.
Eh?
I will say, Chrono for boy.
I find it too.
Into a person or ye say, was any for being what total and son and egg and no say a twa be a twa. I know being on total home. Being a Christmas thief in any name, the grass. It's when young man could be said a boy ye pay, or Javo is scatter into the Zeno. Or Casa, or Nyansa being or Casa, fool say to send your promise if I can Casanage and Afternoon.
Yeah.
It's in Yansa, and Omuja on Omoya and Omun train. Everybody can done you are only what I said, done do any.
That's right.
Now, ear call or two for so.
Yanko.
Monsieur Film, I will two for say, or him. At this time, what do we name? I from, or you be any my phone, more than any my phone. Now, I'm going to football teacher. What you say?
That's right.
Me nima de kodia kwame nkoma dia ye sankofu we ya. Sa kofu baba tena so nya na asem bi otete wo be o nyina asem bi aka dia akofo ado ye nyina kofu nya asem bi aka e no baka ya kwame nkoma ni vision. Okaka ne se ma kwame nkoma ni vision. Kwame nkoma ni vision university course ye we se ba akokra. School service school so see we se ba do be ye so be to hotel na do ma wo ma. Aka mo shopping mall mo sa wo ube wie sika so kwa me kuma wie sika ni bi se na mo wie ya enka no ma nyena so my mo bone na mo no enka no ma so do mo se de so mbo so yenzo my mo bone na mo no na o wie ya aso heni atisa wo a wonim history wa bebe jina ho wa be kasa kwa me nkoma never like Ashanti why
Mentia sakra Dabi we are penny we are even anything crowd we are penny. How? How? I.
Papa, you know what castle and one dress you. One very good young woman. Yes, one. You know what shiny jeans and a t-shirt or the shirt in your bosom.
Wakoya Jumao. Wako Prapra.
Encouraging and call for. Or encouraging and also more about here. I saw a way kind of the history of that actually. Ain't no, I saw a way or kind. And then or car will more buy back over the car with some war, Bema, Bisu, and Bema. Are they? No, you can come once about was a Kwame Kuma and pass at the class. Where is this thing coming from? Your car, where is it coming from? Oh, my young West, maybe to a mere Western, if Western, any central, mommy from central, papa from Western. Oh, my Western, you for your motor, you. Western region for very comfortable with whatever we have and wherever we are very comfortable with. Because yes, it best come from West. No Western region back. And we are very new. First develop Western region because I want a free bus. So all your Santa region and here with the Santa Pomona Bay. Gold in the business for Western region. Oh, that idea explosion, they look so. I will. Exploding no gold, the papa, and I explode. I did some as a soul. What's the region? If you about timber, if you go back, gold, if you go back, oil, and you know if you was there, yes, the best come from West. Yes, Rana, and your first day you saw Sergeant Police also from West. Or 2-4, yes, Rana, on my train, baby, you're comfortable. You're petrified by Wopia. Or in a point, so are they? Most of them was in Nana. We are saying the kingdom is a kind of your kingdom of Ghana. Do we have a kingdom in Ghana?
About them.
We don't. It is a history, no more hiding history, no more the history in Tiafia. A bit more for so much trouble, say history is there. And was saying, we don't have any kingdom. Ashanti kingdom, we don't have any kingdom in Ghana. They are all chiefs. We don't have any kingdom in Ghana. Are they? Asante hine are they? Media dame ko, missing media mini palm pen and no or yas away back. Because on the sense as a woman America. For what? For what? Near or he near Becassi, also I know what school in history. Who's so full set your kind of why just challenge him? One for history and tour. I hear for more friend, more communicating. One can say about time I will say my age more for the issue about some. And we Kwame comedy, the more you Kwame comedy in the same way. Near the day also be similar to Fuado. Manata Michael Jackson. Lele Pooch. Oh no, so open it in the castle because oh no, we see Ghana Kuruch with Tiase.
That's right.
Oh no, the Ghana Kuruch with Tiase, you Kwame Kumo. President will see a Kunyum will back door. Should you see what went answer? As a president. We'll fix it in Nima. Now what we Nima and will be pure out to see home. And if I go aside the way we see. A Koreso, some Ghana president with your what was so long, what I was so rich in the top of sea. And you do away one can't grab to check yourself. Well, one flap for Danga. Or be air by saying for air, encouraging for air, can't papa some channel for what? Also, Kabichro, and a Kabichra for now, Kwame Gwendin never see me say. Are they? Or do for they? They were going to come to the court, the bed, soon as I on time, baby, and you move.
And what I don't know.
Going to be a brand new. And what could dinner the panel you to do one or why you so desperate to not pass them the Akataswa with your year won't burn at the power more on pay the bed, say and pay a trouble warrior. She took home. We are very comfortable with where we are and where we are coming from. So no when you know so best shut up. No what's anymore or shut up on if that's fraud that marketing and no may see a benin a baby mamma and if she are not in a baby mamma. Oh my shanty in the buy and 1 point to perform pinpointed obey a mamma or something anymore. My something in the back for me pinpointed obey a man more. Not an abbey, Rollins or I benny and one couldn't or ye be the mamma. Oh man, we are. No penny or your henny or Casa on ye. No more polite name you from the book. Oh, dinner temple. Are they? Ah, suffer a Malcolm of Yaba, Master.
But I say, hello? Yes, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening. What can I say?
Canada.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going to contribute to your program, Kaka.
Now, Canada the same.
Oh, I want to.
Wow, yeah. Say it, see a pen. Then you see a pen, boy. All right, Koso.
But I'm
other time, Mr. Nick can tell a message there. Siciano, just my opinion towards those who are Ghana. Now, it's so sad anyway. And well done to you and Kevin Taylor. You guys are doing an awesome job.
That's it.
And one thing I'm putting my kind of copy one, almost the whole world. But if we can win power, it will come from the youth.
That's right.
One thing I want to suggest is that maybe more sure one encourage the youth and every at least once in a week, you know, one if you share one page, one video, one individual page, if you have a page to reach
that's right.
other. I want to share. Maybe or friend the page that friend can watch it later on, so that the news can spread. I mean, your message can spread across the world. Yeah. So it's so sad. It's so sad. Yeah, we love our home, but sometimes we are scared to go home because
that's
of
right.
what's happening. Yeah. I mean, sure. So you guys are doing good work and much of program, but not for that is the first time.
Yo, but that's it.
Yeah. I'm sure. So
I'm sure. Yeah. Monsha wa Canada ho.
Yeah,
that's it.
For sure.
Yeah, that's it. All right. I think a time as soon that chum your time no cry and you're fine. Yankopon sure. Na kwa be bantem basuntem. But I was like a me pontem. But well, yeah. All right, thank you very much. But I was say, Pacho, wow, she may be a Nakopon no shroud on Peja on your cassia. Kevin Taylor, Samanda was here. Now, Obesia, my otia for Nakopon shroud on Peja no your cassia. Bibia we be a Obama back for where shaky Ghana, Amagana, a woso, Amagana, a Dane, Amagana, a yede. Na me on shroud, no Peja, na on your cassia, no on Peja. Pacho. More program is more like a program no crowd 87 and yet there be pacho mesramo more like it nan kostu kakra more like it mesro o menko 500 kra a free of charge more like it nan kostu kakra no be so enya program way na yanko any so I'll take my last call and I'll leave. Hello. Yes, madam. Sir? Dear, your phrase is here. I said, buy my buy. Oh, okay. I know so we're gonna know. Oh, okay. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right, that's good. I'm sure. Okani, and him go say fata okaniba, and so asante hene. Oh yeah, Eddie, and him go say abatawa kunyaho. All right, God bless you. But your mobile program musunyina, Madam Nakupon Shramo, Bridget Pauline Appear, and Michelle. Shadi Nete, Ghana is in a state of moral decay. All leaders should work towards creating opportunities for the upcoming generation. This is an SOS for all of us. Shadi Nate, you try. All right, so Cyrilite, Kofi Emmanuel Kumasa, sorry. Renda Aquile, Pauline Bridget Apia, Oshaho, any Omo Maka, Medomunina, I me domu nyina awi wisdom aning oteng ene omo amaka Basco Karim munyina mechamo Monica Kofi Ametepe Tina Vautier Elizabeth Fojuo Elomtek Linda Ofosu any Aisha Ahmed Arita Okwe ɛna ɔmo a minni mu nyinaa Nyankopɔn hyira mo minyi ɛyi mfirim minyi mo maka mfirim mu nyinaa meka mu nyinaa ɛbom meka mu nyinaa ɛbom Nyankopɔn ɔnhyira mo na ɔmpagya mo na ɔnyɛ mo kɛseɛ paa a emu ɔhye na ɔmebɛyidin ɔso Nyankopɔn ɔnhyira na ɔmpagya wo na ɔnyɛ kɛseɛ DJ Kapasta Nyankopɔn ɔnhyira na ɔnyɛ kɛseɛ paa daase na me nhyira na ɔnyɛ kɛseɛ baabi bia wo biara enti ɛmena so sɛ ɛwɔ so yɛpɔn this is the time. All right, God bless you. God lift you. God is great. Mighty is He who is behind us. We shall not fear any evil. We shall stand the day of peril against evil, and white shall be all over us, and we shall be the winner in standing. We thank you, Lord Almighty, for being on our side. God bless you. Let's pray for God's children. Let's pray for Kevin Taylor and this station, Loud Silence TV, to grow, abound, strength, more power, black power. Nakupon, Oshrao, no, Ompejao. Have a very good night. I love you. Bye.